Alright.
He's only got his icon up.
Welcome back.
Where's Josh? Oh yeah, he's not here. Okay.
To Elendel. Session 14. We've been doing this for a long.
Session what? 14?
14.
Yeah.
That means we've been doing it for like 16 weeks because there was 2 times where we had to skip a week.
Let us start this week. Let us start this week by silencing our cell phones.
Please silence your cell phone.
Regal Movie Theaters likes to announce you to silence.
You know that advertisement where it's like, it's rude to talk during a movie. You wouldn't pirate a movie, and everyone's like, yeah, we would.
You would pirate a movie.
Wait,
I would.
that's not how movies come?
Star Theaters presents.
Alright.
So let us start this week by taking a moment of silence for our long-lost party member, Raz Al Desh, who had his head ripped in two by the Mind Flayer.
Namaste.
And as we mourn the loss of Raz, some of us rejoice.
Gorram.
The idiot's dead.
So where we left off, the Selector has been slain. The second celestial weapon has been found.
Whoop 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 whoop.
Gorram Grimlock, the Dwarf Cleric, now holds the Mind Stalker, a celestial war hammer, light as a feather,
Stiff as a
hits as hard as a brick.
Oh,
Luck? Grimlock, that's what I said.
hey, question. I didn't know if you said, does his weapon do radiant like his, or is it just a regular?
No, his is not.
Mine is fucking radiant because I'm beautiful. Have you seen my legs?
Not yet, anyway. So we've gathered the second celestial weapon. You are all gathered outside the Temple of the Chosen, where all of the citizens, as it seems, in the area have gathered around you.
Bow before God.
Have gathered around Rebecca and Roderick.
This is where the fight took place?
Inside, yeah.
Inside that building. They're over here now?
Now you're outside on the steps.
Hey, we're right next to Boddynock's house.
And Rebecca and Roderick, Big Dick Roderick, that is, are summoning you to follow them in the crowd of people to the capital.
Are they in love?
Rebecca and Roderick?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Roderick he's an older man. He has a family.
But he's stacking, bro.
I thought I heard a younger man.
No.
Like he's stacking.
No, Roderick's in his 30s.
Alright, we'll say he's in his 30s.
Older man. 30s.
I mean, it's me. Big Dick Roderick.
Wait, you moved the words around. Jack?
Anyways, that's weird. That's some fuzzy spelling. I don't know.
I gotta go.
It can't be far.
Only partaken.
As you are following, as the party is following Rebecca, as she walks around the temple towards the capital, and a huge crowd has gathered around and kind of like following you. You have this big like throng of people following you. You also can see around you that maybe there's like smoke coming down from where the slums are. So while there's celebration around you, you can see kind of maybe that the rest of the city it might not be in the best state. You hear people, some of the people that are following with you that aren't like cheering and hooting and hollering, kind of like mentioning the looting and possible rioting, like in
Jack, how long has it been since we were here last?
When you left St. Palacia the last time, we'll at least say that it's been
2 weeks maybe? Or a week?
I was gonna say it's about 3 weeks. About 3 total.
Yeah, it's going to go up in the mountain.
Yeah, through the mountains all the way down.
Okay.
I would like to note that Boddynock
Mhm.
is still very much upset, and he kind of like he pulls out a flask and just downs the entire thing as he's walking behind everybody.
Okay.
Like definitely a lot more drinking than you would typically see out of Boddynock.
When I'm looking around, can I see like any kind of like anything that's different than the last time I was here, other than the smoke coming from the slums? Like, does the town look more like
you
disheveled almost? Or is it...
Not so much disheveled, but you can definitely like tell that there's a completely different attitude to the crowd of people that are around. Everybody's a lot more friendly. They're more open. There's a huge crowd around you. They're kind of like all just positive and uplifting and kind of like looking at you guys. Yeah, looking at you guys like your heroes. But as you're kind of like going around the temple, you start to hear some kind of like some more hustle and bustle outside of the group that's like kind of crowded around you, and you start to see smoke coming out of the temple, and then you can see kind of people shouting and rushing in, and there's a whole other group of people in the front of the temple that have rushed in, and they're lighting the temple of the Chosen on fire. They're starting to just tear it down.
Just regular people?
Yeah, just citizens. Okay. Yeah, they're just kind of
like a...
Because they know... At anger of the Selector, or...
Yeah, basically they're going to tear down the place of...
How did they know the Selector did it?
Well, he was a prominent figure. The old man was a prominent figure in St. Palatia, kind of like the figurehead.
There's people whispering about it.
So pretty much there was already like about to be a state of rebellion, and now they're just...
Well, the people have always been, even when you were there, when you were here last time, everybody was kind of just so scared to do anything.
Yeah, because when I talked to the guildmaster, he was saying that nobody would talk about it because everyone's worried.
There was even a guild.
Yes.
Hey, Jack.
Yes.
Hey, before we get too far, I would like to roll for my hit points for.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I forgot to mention earlier. So
yeah, go ahead.
Share my screen and hopefully get a 10.
Okay.
If that's fine with you.
Yeah, please do.
First for 1D.
Alright, you see it?
No.
No?
No.
Hold on. I mean,
Oh,
there we go.
There it is.
Alright, ready?
Yep.
I think priest is only 10 actually.
10.
Oh my god!
Nice. So that puts you at 43?
That worked out. I was sweating a bit.
Well, it says 10 plus Constitution modifier. What's your
Right, so
Constitution?
it's going to be 12 total.
Nice.
And so 45?
43.
I thought you were at... Oh, no, you were at 41. You're right. Okay.
I'm sorry, 53. I was at 41.
Oh, yeah. 53. Sorry.
Hey.
Nice.
I don't feel too overly healthy now. Thank God I felt.
Yeah, Raz would have been at
I think next level I'm gonna roll for it and try it.
Yeah.
Because I get to roll a
You can
d12.
get up to 15, right?
Yeah.
Pretty wild.
rolls a 1.
Yeah, 'cause I have a plus 3 on my
If
cons.
he rolls a 1, though, he gets to
I get,
reroll.
yeah, you get a reroll if you roll a 1 for help.
Oh, okay.
Really?
Yeah.
So you can see the temple of the Chosen start to smolder and burn. You can hear things being like ripped and torn apart inside. Rebecca seems to be not concerned with it, and neither does Roderick. As the crowd continues to like kind of just push you guys towards the capital, you hear people kind of murmuring and like kind of shouting different things. You hear one person shouting "heroes, heroes" over and over again. You hear another older woman saying, "They saved us! They saved us!" And then you hear somebody in the background going, "Why does that demon have a child?"
Oh, wait.
What?
No reaction.
No.
I'm just gonna start like kind of whispering to like the crowd. Okay, lady.
You hear you.
Do they recognize the child as Jimmy, Slayer of Ezra?
No, they don't recognize. They don't recognize the child. They're just. Well, somebody just seemed.
That was an
sorry.
Jimmy takes all the credit for taking down the Selector.
All of a sudden, he steps forward.
Him alone.
I did this. As they pass the now burning temple and start to head up the stairs, the doors of the capital kind of swing open, and you see King Alexander rushing out of it from inside the temple. He looks a bit disheveled, like he had been sleeping for a long time. His eyes are very wrinkly, but he's wearing a very kingly, like almost like a robe. It's like blue and white. But he looks like a middle-aged man.
From the capital?
Yeah, right out of the front of the doors with a big white beard. But again, he looks kind of like almost as if he had just woken up.
What's his name from Lord of the Rings? When he
Just
was
like
Theoden.
yeah,
Theoden,
just like
yes.
Theoden from Lord of the Rings. Since we're making pop culture references.
Hey.
He rushes. He sees Rebecca and immediately rushes right up to her and wraps his arms around her. From behind King Alexander, you see a woman emerge, a middle-aged woman, golden hair, wearing a little silver kind of crown, like a
queen.
Yes, you don't know her, you've never heard of her, but you can gather just by seeing her and how close she is coming out.
How does she look in terms of?
She looks distraught, not like the king, but almost like she's been just devastated for the past several months. And
What's her name?
You don't know
Oh,
yet.
okay, I was just
Yeah, because you've never met her yet.
Why not?
guess that remains to be seen.
Sounds cute.
Behind her, there's several other people. There's a like a kind of what looks like almost like a squire next to the queen, almost maybe like somebody that would be like her handmaiden, I guess. It's not a male, it's a female. And then another figure that's kind of obscure that comes out with him as well. They see Rebecca and they kind of just run up and they have a nice big embrace, and everybody's kind of just crying and sobbing, and King Alexander has his arms around Rebecca, and he kind of, embraces her and then passes her off to the queen, and then kind of like turns to you guys, and as he turns to you guys, and the crowd around you is kind of like still cheering and chanting heroes and all of this stuff, he kind of like puts his hands out to kind of quiet them down, and he speaks to you directly after kind of looking at the party, slowly. He speaks to you directly and says, "Friends, you have done the city of St. Palatia and myself and my family a tremendous service, of which we cannot truly repay. We have been under the cruel control of Var'Gul's evil general for so long, I had forgotten myself. We are forever in your debt, and on behalf of our great city, here's what I would like to give you." And he looks at each one in the party and kind of pauses, and he says, 1,000 gold coins for each member of your party. I want to give you emeralds and rubies to take with you on your journey. But first, before I give you our reward, I want to remember and bring you into the city, into my capital, for a great feast, for all you can eat, for you must be very hungry.
All you can drink.
Oh, sorry, almost died. You must have never met a dwarf before. All you can eat.
Oh, but before you come into the capital, I know your journey has been very long. I've heard all about your travels and your adventures, and I am truly saddened to hear that one of your party members and friends has fallen underneath the temple at the hands of that evil man.
How did he hear about this exactly?
You'll find out in a little bit.
That's it.
Yeah, he has heard the whispers, and because you have lost a member of your party, I would like to introduce you to my closest confidant and somebody that I would like to send with you on your journey ahead. And from behind the king over his shoulder and from behind the queen steps a figure.
What do you want? Do you just want me to talk, or?
Yeah, it's your introduction.
Your Grace, I don't really feel that it'd be very appropriate for me to leave you at this time. I feel you need me now more than ever.
Yeah, you seem to do a really good job.
They can handle their own. They were able to take on that creature.
This is my most trusted advisor, Varyk. I'm going to send you, Varyk, sorry. I'm going to send him with you on your journey. He will be more useful to you than he will be here now that the Selector is dead.
And before he was dead, apparently.
Before what?
You weren't very useful when he was alive.
Varyk wasn't actually here. I had sent him on a mission to find out more about the Selector and what we could do to get rid of him. So it is not his fault that the city had fallen under such evil conditions, as he was searching for answers.
No, he is not the king. You're right, it is not his fault.
I would like to kind of blurt out really kind of drunkenly and just say that perhaps you should have more than one confidant if you're constantly underhanded just sending out one.
My wee friend makes a good point.
Well, unfortunately, most of them aren't alive anymore.
And I'd like to throw down my empty flask and rip another one out. Rip off the top and
He's not taking it so well. We should probably go into the keep unless you want to see him.
Varyk, is there anything there? Sorry. Is there anything that you would like to say?
Yeah, what do I see? What do I see standing before me?
Yeah, what are we
All
looking
right.
at?
So Varyk is a high elf.
Okay.
He's a high elf.
He's got
Yeah, drunk
stands about 6'1", somewhere around that. He's got like a light tan complexion.
He's got really pale, bright green eyes and dark brown hair that's got a little bit of a gray tint to it.
Okay.
It's a bit messy, but it does. He still looks pretty clean cut. He's got slight prickles on his
5 o'clock shadow.
5 o'clock shadow type for a high elf. Doesn't show too much since high elves don't really have much facial hair features. But that's him doing to his upbringing. He is wearing kind of like a dark gray, almost black underneath half robe, so it's kind of got about to right here, and then goes up and kind of comes to the point at the back. He's got his boots and his knee pads, and as it goes up, you kind of see his like leather breastplate with the one leather breastplate on his shoulder going down for a full arm leather breast, and then one arm bracer with no sleeve on here. He's got a device on his back that looks something like a crossbow, and then you see a short sword on his back right here, and then 2 daggers sticking out right here.
Like Ace Ventura style. They're out of his side.
Well, they're kind of like hidden. Like if he was like prone, he could like stab something. The leather's a very, very dark brown with like kind of grayish tints to it, and it's got the symbol of Palatia right on the shoulder, and then a undone hood and neck scarf.
That's a ring on our hands.
Is there anything that you would like to say to the party as they've now just been introduced to you?
Should we go inside first, or
No.
No,
We're gonna talk.
yes.
Yeah, we're talking out here
Okay.
because the king is kind of like looking at you like, "Don't embarrass me, boy."
It's like that was quite the feat taking down the Mind Flayer.
Do you understand what this trial entails going forward?
Oh, believe me, I've known for quite some time. It was very nice seeing you on your journeys.
Seeing us? How?
Well, I ran into your good friend Jakkar, and let's just say, I don't know why you hold him against his ability on the bow and arrow. His skills unparalleled.
The last high elf we had in our group fell to dragon fire.
Yes, Lurelion. I know.
How do you fare against dragons?
Not too bad.
We shall see.
But again, you don't really know too much about my experience. But I know all about you, Akalius, Zealot of Paladine. You're like a fist, but holy. You're just constantly beating things up.
It's true.
You can be a little bit quieter sometimes, massacring conscripts in the middle of the street doesn't always send the best picture.
Somebody's got to do something around here because obviously you guys couldn't handle it.
Yeah, you can ignore the pile of conscripts in the corner. And then Gorram, I've seen you on your journeys, but nothing really isn't known about you. I still don't know why you carried that 7th finger around your neck. No matter how much information I dig up on you, I just can't seem to come across anything. All I know is... Oh, say again?
What did you say?
It's none of your business.
I try to make everything my business. But I can tell you were the one that hated Raz the most. Boddynock. You don't remember, but we shared drinks a couple times. I will never forget the day that you flew into the capital, surrounded by birds as you dropped down. You still have this day, I've never told anybody that story.
That's a story for another time.
I wish, because it baffles me.
It's not anyone's story to tell but my own.
No matter how many
And I don't remember a lot of things when I drink.
Well, I definitely remember that punch to the face you gave me. After I accidentally took a sip of your ale.
People don't sip me ale. You don't do that.
I've had a sip of his ale.
And then I pull out a.
One of the few.
I really wish Josh was here for this, but I pull out a little black book, and I'm like, I've got notes on all of you. I've been following you ever since your adventures down at Safeguard. In distance, Oh, distance. I open up the book and you just see pages just... Distance. Your real name isn't known. You have over 76 counts of crimes in this kingdom. Limited to, but not including, thievery, bestiality, slavery, cannibalism.
I don't think there's ever been proven bestiality.
This is prior to him meeting you guys.
No, he was proud of it. He told us about those goats.
Yeah, that's true.
Child fighting, which by the way, that was a great fight. And many more. But as I said, you are pardoned for your crimes for what?
This isn't quite an introduction, if you ask me. It seems a little strange to just go bellowing out everything you know about everyone when we know nothing about you.
I normally like to keep it that way. I like to know things about people. I don't like people to know things about me.
I mean, if you want to come with us, you gotta change that a little bit.
We could always turn down the king. After all, we saved his kingdom.
Yeah, you were no help in the regard. You seem to be off gallivanting, doing whatever you were doing. Writing in your
us for some
fucking
reason.
book.
What was the orc's name?
Var'Gul.
Yeah. Well, at least Var'Gul is dead, right?
Where's proof of that?
You might find out later.
I don't like him.
I don't either. Kind of a know-it-all.
Talks a lot.
Too much.
Yeah.
Yes.
Was there something else you needed to tell him?
Yes. By the way, I wanted to talk to you. I know you went down through the Heavenly Mountains not too long ago, searching out your first weapon. Question. I grew up with a goblin by the name of Beetle.
Oh, he's dead. I killed him.
What?
That right prick done fucked us over, he did.
I grew up with him. He dragged me out of the sewers.
He dragged himself into a
Should
river.
have spoken. Let's get there.
Oh my god.
Yeah, your friend Beetle's a real fucking dick.
You're right. I hated him too. He's his bounty.
He tried
I
to
handed
get us-
Akalius 5 gold.
5 gold. You keep this.
He was a little cunt and didn't really do much.
He almost turned half our party to stone.
Yeah, with his basilisks.
Now he's dead.
Good.
The king kind of like steps in and says, Okay, come on, everybody, come now. We must eat and celebrate.
You know, as a matter of fact, I actually killed him a second time.
That's true.
You did? Really?
Oh, yes.
How did you kill him a second
In
time?
that room with all the statues, I opened up his box and he came to life again, and I actually beat his skull in with my shillelagh.
Good. He deserves to die as many times as he can.
I want it to be the running thing for this whole campaign. Just this fucking murdering deal.
No.
He comes back in all manner of ways. And he's just one shot every time.
Yes.
So, but it's my job to inquire about the what goes on in the kingdom as His Highness is.
Are you always like this?
Hmm?
Oh, no uppity.
I like to think so.
Do you know what fun is? Have you ever had fun?
Yes. I had a lot of fun.
Alright, let's quit talking. Let's go drink. Let's see if you can handle your liquor with a dwarf.
I'm in need of a drink myself.
The king swings back, the doors open. The queen introduces herself as Queen Hannah, and she ushers the 5 of you in, leaving the citizens out on the steps, still kind of like chanting.
Before I go in, my people, remember the great name Akalius. And I'll just flare my wings out one more time.
And you just hear the guy in the back. That demon still has a child.
We don't talk about it. He won at fair and square.
I command the city watch to barricade.
The barricade, okay.
To barricade people away from.
The one remaining city watch guard walks
Imagine
out from
it's
around
like
the corner.
It's like
Charlie!
do your job. Yes, sir. Right away.
He walks out all rickety armor. You have no idea. How
His
heavy
helmet's
he is.
just way too big for his head.
He walks out and stands in front of the in front of the
big. His breastplate's too small. He just has like a fucking crop top.
It's just clanking.
It's like his armor is like Speedo type size, and then like his helmet is Darth helmet for fucking Spaceballs.
The king and queen usher you inside the capital, to which the first room that they take you into is a giant hall with huge wooden tables. There seems to be kind of like all the royalty of the city kind of gathered there, almost as if they've been like either kept in the capital under lock and key or kind of hiding there. You can't really tell. But in the past few hours, realizing that all of the conscripts are dead and that there's kind of like an evil lifted off of the city, they've kind of all gathered into the dining room. And
Gorram, do you drink?
Yeah.
Does Gorram drink?
Yeah.
Yeah, he drinks.
Okay.
Drinks ale
I
or
don't
whatever.
remember. We did at that one bar. I forgot. I couldn't remember if he does or not.
In the very beginning.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, I
they
remember
take they take you to the front of the room, and you see like a giant fireplace behind kind of a front-facing table with 3 seats, one for King Alexander, one for Queen Hannah, and one for Rebecca. Roger kind of goes off to the side and sits down with some of the other people.
What's his outfit look like with this massive schlong?
Roderick, he's wearing like cut off, almost like
He's just wearing sweatpants.
tunic shorts, but you're cut off at the knee, and you just like underneath the one knee is like a second knee, but it's not really.
He's not me.
It's not really like a knee.
Just wraps around like a belt.
No.
He's always wearing a kilt because there's nothing else I can do.
They show you to 5-6 seats at the beginning, like at the front of the table, and you sit down, and immediately like servants are coming out bringing you food and ale. And I need you to all roll Constitution saves.
16.
Okay.
19.
Okay.
23.
Okay. Dave? I'll roll one.
19. Well, 21 total.
Okay. After the first round, the 4 of you are barely feeling anything. Distance, on the other hand, has had 1 beer, and he is fucking wasted.
Oh my god!
He's already getting naked.
He's luch in real life.
Distance is he's already belligerent. It's been 15 minutes. He's already left the table. He's now sitting on the royal table next to Rebecca, playing his lute.
Oh no!
The king is looking at him, kind of like almost. He's celebrating. So the king is drinking too, and everybody's having a good time. And you can hear like kind of murmuring, and everybody kind of just like celebrating and talking, and just general excitement for the city being out from under the Selector's thumb. But the king is kind of like a little bit taken aback by the fact that the one demon in the party is now obviously quite drunk.
He has
I'm
no idea how persuasive he can be.
I'm eyeing him down. I pull out my little black book and start writing.
I'm gonna before we continue, because I'm imagining the way I'm sitting. It's me, Boddynock to my left, and then Gorram to my right. And then Gorram,
You like him? Yeah.
I'm gonna put my arm around your shoulder, and then I'm gonna talk to you in Dwarvish, and I'm gonna say, "Great work back there. I saw that you landed the final blow. I know you can be a bit uptight, but you should enjoy this moment. You did a great job, and I'm proud to call you my partner."
I don't need a pat on the back.
I was there the day you flew in.
Take your good hand off my shoulder.
Remember that uptight thing I said?
Hopefully.
You did a good job.
Huh?
Hopefully that really happened.
He just looks around, doesn't really pay attention, goes back to drinking. So,
How old is your character?
76.
I'm gonna go back to
Thought you
Boddynock
said
now,
40.
and I'm just gonna start laughing and drinking, and we're just gonna be having a good old time.
Another hour passes. You've been eating and drinking. Distance is still sitting up on the table, kind of just eyeing Rebecca. You can see Rebecca kind of like blushing though, and kind of she's liking the attention that she's getting from Distance.
Yes!
Who's watching Jimmy? Because Jimmy's sitting next to you. Okay, so he's making
Is
out.
Jimmy drinking?
Of course, Jimmy.
We've been slipping him a drink, and by slipping him, I mean, we've just been like, "Whoa, Jimmy!"
Drink it!
I've gotten a little drunk now.
Okay.
I'm gonna walk out into the hallway,
Mhm.
kind of away from everybody, and I point to Akalius, and I go, "You have done well, my son. You have followed my path true. You are a true heir to my power."
What?
Whoever this is, you're not a deity. You sound like that pretentious elf that we met earlier.
Oh no, I changed my voice.
You didn't say that.
That's fine.
That's why I just didn't even say that. You gotta say that. You gotta say you're changing your voice.
Oh my god.
Either way, how would you know what he sounded like? You wouldn't.
Huh? Well, yeah, neither do you.
He's talked to me before.
Oh, has he talked to you before?
How do you think I got my powers?
Yeah. Well, I'm playing a joke anyways because I'm drunk. So.
Yeah.
I know, that's what I was like, hello.
I need you to roll Constitution again.
Does it look like
Hey, oh my God, stop!
Does it look like this is going to be going on like for a while?
Yeah, a couple hours.
Okay. I'll roll real quick.
Roll Constitution.
My god.
Everybody, Constitution.
Woo! I got a 3.
Yes.
I got a 6.
Oh my God.
15.
15, Dave. Gorram, sorry.
Got a 9. Plus 2, so 11.
Are we supposed to hear you?
You got 11.
Oh yeah, sorry about that. 11 total.
What is it? 11 total.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. What did you say again?
6.
6. Okay. Varyk?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna mess that up.
Am I shit faced?
You are. Yes.
Are you near me?
Are you saying I don't know how to have fun? I can have fun.
You are.
I would like to.
You're passed out almost.
Told you
I
you
would
couldn't
like
hang with
to
the dwarf.
Kind of like.
No, we're
what am I
just like,
drinking
I'm
out
just
of?
like this.
Just big like
Oh, like a big
yeah,
mug,
like a mug.
basically.
Yeah.
I'd like to slam down my mug, and I would like to get up, and I would like to walk out into the night.
Okay.
Boddynock, where are you going?
You rolled a 3.
Yes.
Okay, so you leave the
I'm
tap.
stumbling.
You just passed out somewhere.
Okay, well, what I was hoping to do was make it back to the temple to see if my hovel was still there.
It is. It's still there. It's in
I
front.
would like to pass out at my hovel.
Okay, so you're passed out, but you're right out front of it. You're like
As I
if
see
you
him-
have a little like safe place, you're just face first in front of it.
Should I go check on him?
I throw my mug and I pull out my
What'd
little
you
black
roll?
book.
15. Okay, you're pretty good still.
I'm a dwarf. I should feel like I should get advantage for these.
You're pretty
Throw
good.
my mug.
Dave's still pretty good as well.
I'm just.
He's just scribbling. You're scribbling at this point.
I
think you're.
It's just scribble.
What language is that? I know how to read angels.
Varyk is still. Varyk is still. He's still sitting in there writing his book. You just see him scribbling, and then just slowly he just starts to lean as he's scribbling, and he just falls backwards.
I'm gonna put my arm around Jimmy. He said he could drink with a dwarf. I just imagine Jimmy's just passed out too.
Face first.
Do you remember that time?
You're on your back.
Yeah, no, I'm. But
Sorry,
I'm on.
what's that?
Is Jimmy rolling Constitution saves?
Jimmy's plastered.
He's just dead.
Jimmy had 2 ales in his plaster. Boddynock has now left the capital. He's passed out in front of his hovel. Varyk is on his back, still scribbling in his book, just on his back. Gorram, Akalius, and Jimmy are kind of still at the table. You can see other kind of like patrons and the royal families kind of like just like kind of lounging everywhere. A lot of people are just passed out. The two of you, with Jimmy face first on the table, kind of like hear a commotion, and you look up, and Distance is completely naked. He's peeing into King Alexander's mug.
No! Oh my god.
Luckily, King Alexander is passed out face first on the table.
It's kind of overfilling too.
But-
It's just,
But Distance is just standing up there. You can tell he's just gone.
I'm gonna
just
run
peeing.
up and literally just like security guard tackle him off the table. And then I'm gonna look at him. What the hell are you doing? He hasn't paid us yet. I'm
He just laughs at you.
just gonna give him a little. Think of the money, Distance. I know you like the money.
He kind of wakes up and he just kind of like pushes you out of the side and he's just like,
Put your fucking
he's like,
pants
he's
on.
like, I'm fine. Watch this. And you see him kind of like push you to the side and you kind of like stumble sideways. And Rebecca's still kind of like, she hasn't been drinking at all. And she was just like horrified at what she just saw, like kind of sitting there like she was kind of into distance. But then, you know, he did that in front of her. But he comes up and you just see him go from like completely like just stumbling to like, and he just kind of like leans into her, looks real like just very, very like suave at her, and he's like, hey, how about you and me? And he just starts doing these like weird things with his head. And to your surprise, she agrees.
I'm not surprised
She
at all.
does. She's very persuasive.
The head motion seemed to really
We
do
didn't
it
get paid
for
yet,
her.
have we?
No, you haven't been paid yet. Rebecca and Distance disappear.
I've got a question.
Yes.
I feel the king for that.
Now, I drink a lot.
Yeah.
As such, I would assume that I wouldn't really pass out all that frequently, or
No.
if I do, not very severely.
No.
So I was wondering if I could have Sasha potentially rouse me, because I was like hoping to accomplish something.
Okay.
Okay.
So you want Sasha to wake you
Nothing
up?
like a drunken mission.
You want Sasha to
Yeah,
okay.
like maybe like kind of like
Wait.
chew on me or something.
Okay.
Is that his whole mission? Is a drunken mission?
Yes, you can wake up.
Okay.
Yes.
You had a moment of blackoutness. You're maybe just
Obviously, he's the one that can hold it the most.
yeah, I know. That's why he's coming
What do
right
you
back
mean?
out of it.
I'm still fine. I'm just bored. Everyone's drunk and passed out.
Drinking all
And
day.
no one else is. The only person that's awake is Gorram. He's
Bro,
bored.
you've been drinking
Don't
for 2
talk to him.
hours. He's been drinking for 140 years.
But he's a drunken master. That's literally their job.
So Boddynock is going to wake back up after just a few minutes of being face down in front of his hovel. You and Gorram watch as Distance leads Rebecca out of the dining room
I'm just
into another room.
I'm just gonna give him a little. Well done, man.
I get up.
Well done.
And I must stop them!
I'm just gonna give him a little push. Whoa, you tripped there.
I use Uncanny Dodge.
And still fall over.
I push you, you slip, and then you fall the other way.
No, I want to dodge, like amazingly. And I'm like,
fall over.
I wanna pick up
He's a
Jimmy,
rogue.
and then I'm gonna put Jimmy on the table and like lay him flat so he's not like.
Queen Hannah comes out from like another room.
Oh, she wasn't out there the whole time?
No, well, she had left in between like the
Where's
rooms.
Roger, man?
You don't see her.
They're having an affair!
You don't see what Queen Hannah comes back around the corner and kind of takes a look at the scene, sees everybody like mostly passed out. She has like a little smirk on her face. She sees her husband just face down on his plate, and she sees you and Gorram and Jimmy, and sees you placing Jimmy on the table, and she's like, "Oh no, come with me." And she takes the three of you to like separate bedrooms off the side of the living room to sleep for the night if you'd like.
I'm gonna carry Jimmy to his
That's
bed.
different.
evasion.
Is there a.
Evasion is the next thing.
I'm gonna talk to
Yeah,
the king
you're
who I
right.
saw the week.
He was asleep. He is passed out.
How late is it?
It's pretty late, like probably right after midnight.
I want to stay in the.
okay.
I want to stay in the room with Jimmy though because I don't want him to be by himself. So I'll
Okay.
just stay with him and then.
Oh my god, do you remember when you
They're
killed...
no longer in the room.
No, he's still talking.
I'm talking about, do you remember...
He's whispering to me.
I'm talking to like this little old lady, like, do you remember when you killed that giant? That was crazy.
Varyk, I've told you this a couple times already. I've never done anything extraordinary with my life.
How
No,
is
that's
it
part
that
of
he
the
can
character.
know about anything you did in the Heavenly Mountains?
Who, him?
Yeah.
His basically his contacts, his spies. pretty
Literally
much. He's
just-
like,
We were alone in the Heavenly Mountains.
Where were
As
you?
far as you know.
Literally just imagine
Where
him
were you?
as Sherlock Holmes.
Sherlock Gnomes.
I don't know. I don't know if I like that.
No, good thing it's not your job to like it.
It's true.
Like it. So the three of you are now shown to your bedrooms for the evening.
It's been my job.
Would you like to
That's
sleep?
on you guys.
I'm gonna sleep. I'm just gonna once Jimmy's like tucked in, I'm just gonna sleep on the floor, I guess, because there's probably only one bed in there.
Yeah.
So I'll just take like a pillow and just lay on the floor.
Okay.
Pass out.
Gorram, are you retiring?
Yeah. Are there windows and stuff in here?
There are. Yeah, there's a bedroom window.
All right. Can I check the locks? Make sure they're locked and the door.
Yes. The doors are secured.
Okay.
You are safe inside.
Actually, before I go to bed, I want to pray. I'm gonna pray and then
Okay.
ask for guidance, and then I'm going to read the journal because I keep forgetting I have.
Read the journal.
I'm gonna sit down against the bed. Pull out the glasses.
This
I took them off of Raz's corpse.
Oh god. you just see in the eyeglasses. Fuck you, Gorram.
I hit him with the old.
So you read the journal for an hour before you go to sleep, and what you can gather from the journal is that you will have to meet two important figures in St. Palatia before moving on, and one of those figures will lead you to the next step in your journey, to where you will travel across sea and land to find the next weapon hidden in a place where you may not expect.
Interesting. Alright, so I'm going to do that. I'm going to read it, kind of understand a little bit, and then I'm going to hit the old pray button. So when I pray, I'm just going to kind of light up my hands and pray for guidance and
Probably, man.
and then
I'm just asking questions.
just thanking for just asking for guidance and for strength for the upcoming battle. Because I'm magic, it's going to get harder and harder. So and then obviously over Raz's death, I'm going to kind of just reflect on mistakes and work on those type of things.
What am I doing?
You're passed out in the dining room. What would you like to do?
Boddynock
Just
has had a rough day.
Mm-hmm.
He is going to be riled by Sasha, kind of like biting his ankle,
How did you not know we killed Beetle if you didn't
and
know?
No, I didn't.
He did. It was
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, I did. It was a joke.
also if he's got spies all over the damn place, why didn't none of them help us? Anyway.
Useless.
I totally didn't.
Boddynock is going to kind of like stand up real quick and kind of like the hovel is obviously like this lean-to up against the temple, and I'm like really surprised it's actually still there. I would have figured once I vacated they would have fucking got rid of it. But
There's more pressing manners.
since it's there, I'm going to kind of stand up and kind of just stumble toward the wall and like kind of fall with my back against it, kind of sitting there.
Mm-hmm.
And Boddynock is going to. Would you say is the moon visible?
Yeah.
Yeah. Boddynock is going to sit there and kind of just look up at the moon and contemplate things. And Sasha's going to kind of curl up on his lap, and so she's going to go to sleep, and he's going to let Jiminy out, and Jiminy's going to actually like preen a little nest in Sasha's fur, and kind of the two of them are going to sleep there. And Boddynock's just going to spend the night kind of contemplating.
When you're miniature, I'll be like a big piece of iron.
Okay. The next morning, the first thing you see as everybody, what does everybody want to do? First of all,
I'm gonna wake up. Jimmy,
I'm gonna wake up, but make it seem like I wasn't drunk last night.
okay.
and I'm gonna get Jimmy up. I'm gonna get him ready, get some new clothes on, and get him outfitted for the day.
Okay.
And then I'll make my way back out to the hall.
Okay. Warren, what about you?
I need to prepare my spells, and since my Warhammer is not magic, I'm not going to put the enchantment on the Warhammer. I'm going to put it on my armor to give me a +1.
Ooh.
Nice.
My armor class.
So you have a 21.
Yes.
21.
21.
Okay. Okay. What about so you're making it like you weren't drunk?
Yeah.
Do I walk out and see you? Is that where I see you? Are you passed out still?
No, I'm like hands behind my back. I'm ready to go.
Okay. As you enter the dining room,
It's spick and span too.
it's completely clean. There isn't people anywhere. You don't see the king. You don't see anybody passed out or drunk. It's completely clean. It's been cleaned up. Are you coming back into the capital, or are you still outside?
I am still outside.
Okay. As you guys enter, you see Varyk on the other side of the room, kind of standing there silently. And then completely
Menacingly.
on the opposite side of the table, you see Distance. Bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, with a huge smile on his face.
Josh had to be here for this, man.
He's sitting, just kind of. He's kind of like sitting in the table, but kind of like leaned back. Big grin on his face, and he's just kind of like scratching his cheeks, like real happy to see you guys.
Don't worry, I took care of your child for you.
And he kind of like looks at you, and he goes, "Thanks, Akalius. It was worth it. Appreciate you.
I don't do anything for free. Distance.
Oh, I'll reward you later. Wink, wink, wink."
Kill him.
You've got enough rewards. Is the king anywhere to be seen?
Yeah, where's Rebecca? Is she just like back down just...
Rebecca is nowhere to be seen, but if
She's pulling an Aria.
She is like indented into the mattress, just like.
you kind of like prod Distance a little bit, and he lets you know that.
I mean, I would have known because I'm the only one who saw him walking out together.
Well, yeah, but he's gonna let you know that he was only in there for 2 minutes, and it was the best 2 minutes of her life.
And an in and out job.
Did you do a constitution for that?
He rolled a 19.
She looked like what's it called? She looked like Arya. Just
Yeah.
He seems to think that it was the best 2 minutes of her life.
He seems to think.
Yeah.
I'm sure it was.
The king comes in, kind of with a smile on his face, and kind of looks at everybody and says, "I hope everybody enjoyed last night. I certainly did."
I'm gonna tell Distance to make sure he doesn't say anything about that.
He just kind of like looks at you and winks.
I'm just telling him, let's keep this quiet till we get paid.
He comes in, and the king again is very happy to see you. He's happy about the celebration, and he does
grandchildren.
he does mention that whenever he like came to, he chugged the rest of his ale.
Oh!
And
It was good ale, wasn't it?
it seemed. He said, "I hope nobody had any of that last barrel of ale. It seemed a little sour."
Oh, God.
It's funny because I'm the only one who knows.
That is gross.
You just kind of like look at Distance and.
I'm just gonna. Yeah, I must have had some of that too. It did kind of seem a little off.
He drinks piss.
Thanks for the follow.
I love you.
So he's standing there and he says, "Oh, don't let me forget. I have your reward." And he kind of like does this motion, and one of his servants wheel out this cart, and on top of the cart, on like the top like wooden level, is just 5 sacks of what looks like coins, and underneath on the bottom level are like smaller sacks of what looks like probably to be gems.
For the gems, do we know how much they're worth?
Yeah, so there's a currency conversion. I don't remember off the top of my head. Let me see. See if I can find this one. You're getting two rubies and one emerald.
Emeralds.
2 rubies and an emerald.
Hey, Ruby.
Yeah, they make like an old man sorcerer.
One emerald.
So,
And all your spells are like sleeping spells.
how's everybody doing today? Dreams. Sweet dreams.
Oh my god. Alright, let me look up currency conversion. 1 second, I'm gonna figure this out.
Rubies. Emerald.
Hey, Jack, you got any cookies up in this bitch?
No.
Cookies would be lovely.
wife is watching so she can see how you act. So she knows that this is, you go to Jack's house and raise his friend.
Here we go. Let me tell you. Selling treasure. Okay. Okay, so I get to make it up myself because it's not like official.
So they're all worth like $1 million apiece. Thanks, man. Sweet.
Each
copper.
ruby is worth 500 gold,
Holy shit.
and each emerald is worth 1,000 gold.
Damn.
So we're getting gold in addition to
Two-
the gemstones?
Two rubies and an emerald for each of you.
Damn.
Do you have any place I can exchange these for coin?
Oh, I'm sure that can be taken care of in our currency exchange shop.
Otherwise known as a bank.
A bank?
Oh, is that what you guys call it in your wildlands? We call it the currency exchange shop.
That sounds way more.
Yeah, I'm gonna head down to the currency conversion shop.
Yes, of course.
So he kind of hands you all your treasure and thanks you once again and lets you know that in addition to all of the reward and sending Varyk with you, that he's giving you the keys to the city, that you can visit St. Palatia and have access to whatever you need whenever you want.
So Distance gets access to his daughter. No one talking about. Hey!
He gets access to them to clap in their.
He lets you know that if you go to Barnaby the blacksmith, that Barnaby's is going to give you 50% off anything you might need to purchase or do.
Clap.
And then he kind of, under his breath, whispers to Akalius, "That's only because Raz is dead, but don't tell everybody else."
Gorram!
He then lets you know that if you go to the inn and bartender that you can have free ale and food at their shop anytime you want.
Are you sure this is a good idea, King? I don't know if you wield the
If you understand.
We have like 3 drunks on this group.
He then finishes by saying that if you need to go to the High Mage Allegius, that he's charging 50% more, because now that the Selector and his Constrictors are gone, he has no reason to make potions or do research in trying to get rid of them, and he's mad.
Who?
Allegius, the mage that did
That
all of
goes
the
my idea
potions.
of getting potions. Just fuck that guy. I'm not gonna pay more.
Oh, okay.
He's upset.
He's upset.
Can I don't know how I would like to word this, but I want to ask the king kind of a paraphrase of what I read last night, and ask him if he could make any heads or tails of what it says, like about like being taken to this place on a boat or whatever. If he knows kind of what that means.
2 important people. Well, there are many important people in St. Palatia.
I figured you wear the crown. I should start here.
To be honest with you, I would go see the Lady Melina.
Yeah, who is this Melina?
The Lady Melina is a fortune teller. And she works down in the slums.
Okay. Why do you?
She also makes great biscuits.
You may think that fortunes are normally for the fools and the weak-minded, but in your experience, I'm sure that you are familiar with taking the words of somebody who may not seem so wise, but in reality is very wise. Go see the Lady Melina as soon as you can.
Excellent choice, sire.
And then.
Thank you, Varyk. No, please. Please go with it.
No one likes a kiss ass, am I right, King?
Yeah, true, sire.
So he obviously doesn't know anything about that as far as what the prophecy
No.
like.
He doesn't know anything about that.
Oh, we didn't talk about what's my starting currency.
You have 1 gold.
What would be your salary have been? Like 2 copper pieces a day?
I've got
For 40 years.
2
right here. I've got. Well, if he's a rogue, in fact, he gets 4d4 times 10 gold pieces.
Okay.
Yeah, whatever.
But that's also starting. That's like.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's at level 1. Yeah, I mean, you
Yeah.
can say you have 1,000 gold to start with. Steve.
Maybe you need this 5 gold back. I'm fucking rich, mate.
Alright.
I do have kind of a amount of gold. It doesn't make sense.
Raz actually traded all of his gold coins for chocolate coins.
Yeah. That's how would you know that I have them? Sounds like a lot of
His-
metagaming, Luch.
His spies.
Oh, the rogue, it's all about that metagaming.
Are you guys? So you've got your treasure. The king has kind of set you on your path. Would you like to go to leave the castle or the capital and go?
Ben's
meet-
not even with us. Or
No.
Boddynock. He's not
No,
with
but
us.
you have his.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm gonna take
Credit.
his share, and then I'm gonna take a portion of it for Kane. I'm just kidding. I'm gonna take it, and then I'm gonna leave. I'm gonna take Jimmy with me.
Okay.
So I don't know I guess distance is with us, but I'm gonna
Yeah,
take
he's
Jimmy
there.
and make sure he's with me. And I'm gonna go try to find Boddynock because now I'm a little concerned that I don't know where he's at, and he like disappeared. So I just want to make sure he's okay because I know he was upset. So I'm gonna leave, and then
Okay. So as everybody leaves the capital, Varyk, you're kind of like behind the party, and you kind of leave, and you're like looking at the king. Baby, come back. And he just takes one look at you. and just shuts the door.
Your Highness!
As you come out of the capital,
it's
and
like
you
when your kid's 40 and he finally leaves the house.
you start to walk down the
No, we
steps.
have
You see the temple, and it's pretty much all but just kind of a
It's
a shell. Yeah, it's completely been burnt down. All of the dome is collapsed into the middle. There's beams, but they're like kind of charred and smoldering. There's like anything that was of value inside is completely taken, and you can see straight through the rubble down to the next set of steps. And it's so open that you can kind of walk straight down through instead of having to walk around it. So you walk
Can
down
I see his
through.
hovel?
No, not yet. So you walk through the temple. And as soon as you get out to the front side of the temple and start to go down the next set of steps, you can see off to the left.
Are you sleeping still?
So I am passed out with like 6 empty flasks kind of strewn about, and Sasha is like kind of standing at my feet with her hair all riled up, and she's kind of like growling at the people walking by.
I'm gonna come up and I'm gonna give Sasha a little wave, like not just like a friendly like wave. I'm also gonna pick
She's
up.
very protective.
I'm gonna pick up like 4 of Ben's flasks or Boddynock's flasks before I wake him up and put them in my pack for something later.
Okay.
I would like to go find the stables and see if I can acquire a new wagon and something to pull it.
Okay.
Gorram's on a mission to just have this wagon. He's
He hates walking everywhere. He's short little stumpy legs, man.
I feel you. I feel a lot of our group is short, stumpy legs.
Yeah.
3 of the 5.
I've got to go prepare for travel.
Okay. Do you want me to give you a kiss goodbye? You're a big boy. You can do it. Dad? Son?
All right.
Well, I wanted to have a meeting with our group before, but I guess we'll have to wait for that.
I mean, we can be up outside like.
We'll just do it later. It's fine.
Yeah.
Gorram, I told you that we're gonna go meet the fortune teller. So did you want to go? Did you want to do that after, or should we do our shopping then fortune teller? What do you guys want to do?
Gorram has no interest in a fortune teller.
It's part of the journal. Pussy.
Does it really?
Yeah.
Yeah. I was gonna tell everyone about it, but
Wait, the fortune teller's in the journal?
well, it's part of my. I haven't got to tell everybody anything yet, because
But like the
So-
fortune teller was in the reading?
No.
no. So I
Yeah.
read the journal, right?
Uh-huh.
Obviously, you won't know this yet because I haven't told you. But
Well, I'm simply saying so
so
Dave isn't under the impression that the fortune teller specifically was in the
No, the fortune teller was not in the journal. However, the journal stated that
Two important
you need to talk to
and then
2
the
important
king
people.
told me I should go see the fortune teller.
Right.
But I wanted to do it as a group, but I haven't got to tell everyone because we haven't been a group yet.
Okay.
So I was trying to find you and then tell everybody, and then we can decide what we want to do.
Okay.
Is that good with you, Gorram? If we meet up and then I wake up Boddynock and then I tell everyone and then we can decide our plan then? Because we can always shop and then go to the slums because the slums at the bottom of the map. We could do our shopping, meet up, then go to the slums after.
Yeah, that's fine.
All right, so I'm gonna wake you up then.
Okay. How do you do that?
Little man, I'm gonna poke you with my spear, but the other side, obviously, I'm not gonna poke you with the sharp end. Boddynock, little man, wake up.
It's gonna be one of those like little like quick twitch like knocks the spear out of the way, but like, oh.
That's what I did with the spear, because I know you're a little fucking feisty little one, so I didn't want to get too close to you.
Boddynock is clearly fucking shit-faced still, like he's hungover.
You feeling alright, little one?
And he kind of like pulls his hat and puts it over his face, and he's just like, "Who's there?"
It's your old pal Akalius.
Oh shit. Fuck, where am I?
We're in St. Palatia. You know, we killed the big ugly tentacle monster. We met the king.
When did I get home?
I don't know. You left sometime last night. You got drunk and left.
Oh,
I figured you knew you were around, so I let you be. I know you were upset.
feels good to be home.
We still have a mission to go on if you would like to join us. Still, I know that you were upset about the loss of one of our teammates. Are you still capable of this? I have a gift for you.
I need a drink, but I don't seem to have a flask.
Yeah, you seem to have spread those all over the town.
I need a flask.
Wait, we have more important things to do. Here, look, I have something better.
What?
And I'm just gonna hand you the whole sack of gold, and I'm gonna hand you the emeralds and stuff. Here, you can buy all the flasks you desire once we get finished.
And I shall.
And then at this point, I'm gonna gather everyone and then tell them essentially what I read and that I talked to the king. He said to meet the fortune teller, and then we can do our shopping, prepare, and then we'll meet back at the hovel, and then we'll go to the slums.
Okay.
Does I need to go to? I don't know, does anyone else need to go to the blacksmith or no?
Actually, no, I don't think I have any need for the blacksmith.
Do you have to go to the blacksmith for me? Or?
Actually,
I have
I'll
to
go with
I have to
you.
go shopping other places.
I'll go with you, the blacksmith.
Okay. Gorram, so
Okay.
did you just leave the party to go towards the stables?
Yeah, now that now that we have a
After we
conversation.
established where we meet up, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Gorram leaves to go towards the stables. The party, you're going towards the blacksmith. Distance is just gonna follow.
Yeah, I'm gonna take Jimmy. I want to get Jimmy something too.
Yeah. Distance is going with you. Varyk, you're just following.
No, I'm going to
You
go to
just-
the alchemist.
Okay, you're going to the alchemist. As you you branch off to the alchemist, you're going towards the blacksmith. As you get down towards the alley to go towards the blacksmith, you hear kind of like a scream from over here in where the seamstress is, as if somebody was being attacked.
I guess I'm gonna just run over there. Then
I'll follow you since I'm following you to the blacksmith.
Okay.
I'm gonna tell Distance to keep Jimmy here.
I'll
and
be stumbling.
we'll come back.
Okay.
So I'm gonna tell them to stay there. So I don't want Jimmy getting hurt. And then plus he had a eventful night.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go.
Distance and Jimmy stay outside. As you burst open the door to the seamstress's like little office area, you see kind of like a hulking man, just like a giant, just man from the back, lean over the seamstress's table, and you can see her kind of like underneath, like struggling.
I'm just gonna yell out, "What's the meaning of this?
Um,
Who are you?"
they don't seem to hear you at first. They're kind of just like, he's kind of just like over top of her, just, you know, and you just see her just kind of like struggling to move. Even with your shouting, they're just like not paying attention.
I'm gonna run up and grab the guy.
Okay. Where are you
Can I
grabbing him? On the
How
shoulder?
tall is he?
He's tall. He's maybe 6 foot.
Can I reach his shoulder?
Yeah, probably.
Alright, I'm gonna run up and grab him, like pull him towards me, like, hey, like, yo, what's going on?
I need you to roll a
Strength.
yes.
Would it be a strength check or an athletic?
No, strength.
Okay.
Boddynock is gonna see this, and he's still like
Drunk.
still not. Yeah, he's still drunk, but he's
Yeah.
also not in the best mood. Still, you know, he's hungover. He's getting over everything, and he's also, you know, really just not in a good fucking mood. And kind of what I'd like to do is like kind of one of those things where he's just kind of like he's there and he sees what's happening and he's like really really pissed, and like without even really thinking about it, like I imagine just one of his hands kind of starting to glow, you know, with chi, and then like just kind of punches the wall and puts a hole in it and just says like, "Stop!"
Okay.
And
At the
just,
same time, the
I
body
rolled a
knock.
17. So.
Oh, okay. Punches a hole in the wall. You grab the man by the shoulder and kind of like whirl him around. As you do that, you see Elise kind of was like bent over the table, face down, and the guy's pants are down.
Oh.
And he like whirls around, completely red faced, and she kind of looks around and she's like, "Oh my goodness!" And kind of like.
Wouldn't we know that his pants were down if we walked in them?
No, because they were up.
Like the
in
fly,
back.
like the fly.
Yeah, he had to peep out.
Yeah. So he you caught Elise and her.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Fun.
I'm just gonna.
And now there's a hole in the wall.
I'm just gonna. She does great work. I can see. I'm just gonna toss the gold on the counter and leave. And grab the body knock. Well, that was eventful. Let's go back to our journey.
I actually had business at the scene.
I think he was first in line.
You just put some glass like in front of the whole like cover it.
I will. I'm gonna get really sheepish and I'll say I'm terribly sorry. I'll be back. I will pay for that, as well as a few other things.
Already
For now, I must go.
I already gave him a gold. You don't have to worry about it. Let's get out of here. This is awkward. I think I saw his penis. It wasn't like Roderick, I can tell you that.
I feel sorry for it.
I don't know why she's screaming so much.
So that's gonna be like first time though Boddynock
Yeah.
used the chi empowered strike, and it's kind of like surprising to him because
Okay.
like he's.
I'm also gonna tell him that was fucking cool. And I'm gonna light up my fist and just give him knuckles. We have cool fists.
Josh said he's ready, so you should,
I
you should be
I
able
see
to-
him.
Okay, cool.
Josh, are you here?
That fucking time.
You pissed in the cup and you fucked the princess. There you go. You're
Yeah,
caught
you
up.
fucked the princess.
For 2 minutes.
Hey.
Only 2 minutes though.
And you pissed in the cup.
Naked on top of the
And
table.
the king drank it.
Yeah, the king drank your pee.
Yep. You had a very successful night.
Sounds delicious.
Oh, add 1,000 gold to your inventory. And you have 2 rubies and 1 emerald.
The rubies are worth 500 each, and the emerald is worth 1,000. So essentially, you got 3,000 gold.
Well, you have to go to sell
Did anyone notice that?
What?
What I gave him?
What?
it. Did you not give him a...
We got 2 and 2. I gave him 2 and 1.
No, it was 2 and 1.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, it was 2 and 1.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have 2 rubies. Distance, here you go. Yeah, there's my babysitting fee.
You just add these to your inventory? 'Cause
Yeah.
I don't see anything in like the actual money section.
No, you just add it to your inventory for now.
But you also got 1,000, just 1,000 straight gold, and then 2 rubies that are worth 500 apiece.
While this is going on, Gorram is back at the stables,
Yeah, I'll let you do it.
Haggling.
So bad.
talking to the stable master, trying to buy a wagon. Are you looking for
I
a
need a
horse?
horse or a donkey or something.
A horse,
along
okay.
also.
The only thing that he has for you is a donkey. The last 2 wagons that he made were used as flaming projectiles burning down buildings in the slums. He has no fresh wagons. The only thing he has is a donkey that looks kind of like Donkey from Shrek.
So just a donkey?
That's it. That's all he has is a donkey.
I'll take a donkey.
Okay.
I'll ride a donkey. I'm not too proud.
Yeah. Why would you be? he's like pretty desperate, in desperate need of money, so he wants you to make him an offer.
I have no idea what to offer for a donkey. I've never bought a donkey in my life. I will offer him 1 gold piece.
He kind of laughs and goes, I'm desperate, but not that desperate.
Just like distance, you know what I'm saying?
Hey!
I'll tell him to name his price. What he would like.
He would like 100 gold.
For a donkey?
Damn. Let him have it.
He just kind of like looks at you like almost hopeful.
Hey, just so you know, in the book, they're only 8 gold.
Yeah, they're not very expensive. I'm just gonna turn around and walk away. Fuck this guy.
He said, as he turned to walk away, he's like, no, wait. I'll give you the donkey for 5 gold.
4.
Oh, that's what I'm fucking talking about.
6 gold?
4 gold.
Okay, 4 gold. Okay.
Alright.
So he hands over the donkey, and the donkey has a limp.
Oh, fuck.
He didn't inspect the merchandise.
Well, I carry stuff, right?
What's that?
Will it carry stuff?
Oh yeah, for sure. No, it still works, and you can still ride it.
It's still
Yeah, the donkey still. You can still ride it. It just walks with a limp.
This is a mostly functioning donkey, alright? It's
like
buying the Subaru used.
yeah.
It's got some miles on it.
It's got 3-wheel drive instead of 4.
Yeah.
Alright, whatever. I'll take it.
I don't know why, but I thought about the Family
Also,
Guy show with the horse.
Dave, Boddynock might potentially be able to help the limp. He's really good with animals.
Alright.
Snaps his neck. There's no hope.
Distance good, or what kind of good are we talking about?
I'm gonna try this.
All right, where are you going?
No one's as good.
Hold on,
with
where are you going
animals
for the
as this.
stables, Gorram?
Oh, Josh, you missed.
I guess, I have nowhere else to go, really, so wherever we decided to meet up.
Yeah, he's gonna go back to the hovel while we're at the box.
Okay.
Oh, Josh, you missed.
We can get some more rations and stuff, I think. We have a long journey still yet, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Are we all gonna do that as a group? Get it
Yeah.
over with, or?
Yeah, we can do that because I have to go by the inn and stuff anyway before we leave, so we can do that. Yeah, that's fine. There's a market and stuff right here.
All right, so you guys go to the blacksmith.
Oh, Josh, you missed Lucha's new character and everything being introduced.
Oh.
He was like the hand of the king.
The cliff notes.
Here, Lucha, give him the cliff notes of your character.
Oh, so I'm like the eye of the king. I keep tabs on things that need to be watched upon in the kingdom. And Distance had 76 counts of crime throughout the kingdom. You had bestiality, cannibalism, thievery, slavery, child fighting,
Among others.
fornication.
Don't worry, you were absolved of all your crimes because we helped the king.
That's right.
That sounds incredible.
He's also a high elf that carries a crossbow. That's about all we know.
Does he have a name?
Varyk.
Varyk.
Varyk. Gotcha.
So you get to the blacksmith, Barnaby, who seems ecstatic to see you. His shop is back up and running. All the citizens are coming in to get different things for them. He is especially happy because he's heard that his least favorite among the party is no longer with you. And the first thing he says is, "Ah, friends, welcome back. I can actually call you friends now because that one guy is not here anymore."
Hello, Barnaby. I'll go shake his hand.
We shake. He says, "I'm sure you've heard. I'm sure the king told you everything is 50% off. I'm giving everything half off here.
Amazing.
Whatever you need."
I do have a request, Barnaby, if I can ask. Lovely armor you made me. I'll have you know.
Yes,
This
still looks good.
This took a blow from a giant, and I'm still kicking, so thank you for that.
No problem.
What I do have to ask, though, is there any way that you could make it stronger?
Normally I would take that as an insult, but today is a good day, so I'm not going to take that as an
I
insult.
told you it took a whack from a giant, but we're going to be fighting things stronger than a giant and a little bit more cushion.
Let me just let you know, though, when you work metal, the more you work it, it can get weaker sometimes, too. So there's a chance that it might not be that good.
It's understandable. If
It
not,
could be better, it could be worse.
the worst case scenario, I'll buy another piece, half off.
Why don't you take that off and we'll try it.
What was it? 10 or higher?
No, there's no modifiers either. It's straight.
No! I rolled it right on the 10 and it rolled to an 8.
Okay. He kind of set the armor down and he bangs it once and his first bang it just kind of like and it just cracks down the middle. And he just kind of looks up at you and he just takes it and he's like, so about that new piece of armor.
I'll take another piece. Let's roll the dice again.
So he brings another set out and he sets it down.
Couldn't he?
Yeah, he brings it out. He sets it
Try
down.
one more time.
It looks identical to the one that you just had. No crack though.
Alright, whatever. Alright, I'll just take another piece of armor.
He sets down the new one, bangs it once, it splits down the middle again. He takes it and throws it back over his shoulder.
I'm gonna try it one more time.
Okay.
I'm seeing what the cost these are.
750 gold.
So half, so it's 325, right?
Yeah.
Alright, so that's 325.
375.
Yeah, 325. Alright, I'm gonna try
375.
one more time. I'm not gonna use this dice actually. I'm gonna use it
Oh my god. Boddynock is clearly still
What was
wasted.
that?
You must be very eager, Barnaby. Keep swinging the hammer a little too hard. Try softer next time.
I'll do my best.
19.
Okay. He smacks it down, and after the first smack, it doesn't crack, so he's like... Okay, first smacking it really hard.
Just Iron Man, just.
So he gives it
I fucked
back
up
to you,
my
and it's a little bit stronger now.
Alright, let me take that out of my Put it
And
on.
that's going to be 375, 375, and 375. So 1,025, right?
It's only twice. I only paid for 2 pieces.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Because the
So
first one was
750.
mine. Yeah.
750.
That's fine. Yeah, so
2 armors for the price of 1.
Is there anything else that you needed from him?
I want to buy. Do you have the prices up right now, or should I wanted to buy a long sword for Jimmy, so I can train him on how to use a real man's weapon.
He looks down at Jimmy and he kind of eyes him for a second, and he kind of reaches under the table, pulls out like a small sword that looks like it's like kid size.
And a shield as well.
He doesn't have any shields at the moment. You have to make one. It would take about a day. So he sets down the shield. He sets down the sword in front of you, and kind of is like, "Does this look good?"
I'm gonna have Jimmy grab it. Jimmy, grab the sword for me.
And before Jimmy does, he goes, "Hold on one second. I can make an improvement." And he brings it back and just, and it bends in half. And you just see him like look at you, and he's like, pulls out another one that's identical, and he's like, "Here, I'm not gonna touch this one."
Is that free then?
Yes, I'm gonna give it to you for free.
I'm gonna have Jimmy
For the
hold
boy.
it. How do you like that, Jimmy?
It's swell, Mr. Akalius.
Oh my god. Why does Jimmy sound like what's his face from the Christmas Carol?
Little Jimmy.
God bless us, everyone.
No, Tiny Tim.
Tiny
That's
Tim.
his
Yeah,
name.
whatever.
He's so tiny.
Yeah, he has no shield. It'll take him about a day.
Does he have anything like a weapon shield, just anything like that, like a practice shield going around?
He looks around and he can give you like the top of the barrel that has like the rope handle.
That's fine. I just want to train him with it.
Okay.
I don't care if
He hands you the top of the barrel. So Jimmy has a rope handle barrel as a shield and a small longsword.
That's fine.
Um,
Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Akalius. This should do well.
Yes. My name's Jimmy.
I'm 8 years old. That's all I needed, so you guys can go ahead.
Boddynock would like to stumble to the counter,
Mhm.
and he goes up there and he goes, "I'll take 200 darts.
200
They're half
darts.
off, right?"
Yes.
Oh.
They're half off. I only have 100 though.
Lights up the cheapest, slams it down. Make me 100 more.
I don't make them. I get them imported. So that's all I have is 100.
Import more.
I'll take 150 darts.
Okay. He pulls out the box of 100, and you just see like him get some like charcoal from the edge of the fire, and he just scratches out 100 and writes 150,
Oh, I thank you kindly, sir.
and then hands the box down.
So I think that ends up being like
They're what, a gold piece?
they're 5 copper pieces.
Oh, they're
per
very
dark.
cheap. Oh
So
yeah.
like
Okay.
100 is 5 gold. and they're half off, so 2.5 gold.
Okay. He'll take 2 gold for it.
I'll flip him 2 gold, and I'll give him another gold piece as a tip for giving me the extra 50. Thank you kindly for
He
your
just kind of like
business,
looks
sir.
at you and this is like,
Take the man, Sasha, and Boddynock would. He also kind of turns around and walks off in the direction of the seamstress. He'd like to go back that way.
Okay.
Super hittable.
so you head towards the seamstress. Gorram, you're just waiting by the hovel, right?
Ooh, I have some.
Actually, I'd like to go to. Is there a? I don't know. I guess the seamstress. Seamstress again. I need to find a new cloak. I think.
Okay.
One that's waterproof, basically.
So you can head to the seamstress as well. You're gonna kind of meet Boddynock on the way.
This isn't your phone, Gorram.
He's headed towards the same place as you. What else would you like?
I have a quick thing I wanted to do because I did pick up those flasks from Boddynock when it was passed out.
Yeah.
I want to go to the bar and get them filled up.
Okay.
So I'm gonna go to the bar while they're like walking that way.
Make sure it's the good stuff.
Distance? Did you need anything at the blacksmith while you're there?
I don't think so.
Okay. All right. So you and Jimmy are gonna follow Akalius to the back to the inn and bar where you meet the friendly faces of Winnie and Mrs. Patmore, who greet you very, very jovially. They're very happy to see you. They welcome you back, and they remind you again that anytime you want to stop, you have a place to stay and you have food and drink to eat.
Oh, yeah, it's free now. Sweet.
Whenever you want to come through.
I'm gonna ask her if she could fill all of these flasks up with the top shelf stuff.
Absolutely. You hand them to her, and she eagerly runs inside to fill them and comes back with, how many did you give her? 5?
Yeah.
5. She comes back with 5. She also gives you a small barrel of ale to take.
Distance. Do you wanna drink?
Yeah, that sounds great.
Can my friend Distance get one as well to go, please?
Sure. She looks at Distance, kind of like he looks a little young to drink, but doesn't really care. She runs back inside, comes back out with another small barrel. This one has a tap in it, and she's gonna hand it to Distance. She says that should be more than enough for the road.
Thank you so much, Mrs. Patmore. You're a wonderful lady.
She
I'm just down the entire now. I want to put it back. I won't take your cup. You can keep that.
over at the seamstress. What do you guys need? You're looking for a new cloak and Boddynock. What are you looking for?
Cloak with a hood that's
Okay.
waterproof.
Okay.
Like I don't know what kind of material that would be. Like wax canvas. I don't know whatever they had.
Yeah.
It's just rubber.
A rubber tunic.
Yeah,
I'm not
probably
gonna
rubber,
notice it the
rubber
entire
poncho,
time.
that'd be good.
I'm also looking for a same type of cloak, but very dark.
Okay.
Is your things
I would
Yeah.
also like to buy like a canvas sack, also waterproof, so I can put that on my donkey with my stuff,
Okay.
some of my stuff. A change of clothes and like some kind of jacket or something if we run into cold weather. Just
Ooh,
That's a
okay.
good idea. Seeing that Boddynock is going to ask for a jacket
Okay.
as well.
He's
He's also looking for a seamstress. Is she going to make blankets?
Yeah.
What's going
Yeah.
on?
Yeah.
Probably like any kind of clothes.
I was going to get a bedroll and a blanket.
Is she done getting fucked yet, or?
Yeah, she's done. She comes back and she's well put back together. And then the sign of her husband is he's nowhere to be found.
Quick interjection. While they're doing that, just for the sake of the story, I'm just gonna head to the market and grab just enough rations for everybody. So
Okay,
that
cool.
way we don't have to make a second
Yeah.
trip.
Good.
Noticing that they went that way and the market's that way, I just did that. And then I got Jimmy a candy bar.
The seamstress takes your order of everything that you're looking for, and luckily has everything in stock right now. She hands out the bedroll and blankets.
Mhm.
She gives you a very dark black hooded cloak that kind of just seems to fit you perfectly, almost as if it was made and ready for you. She asks for 10 gold for everything.
Normally I'd argue with
was
you,
that
but
me or
That was for Boddynock, sorry.
okay.
normally I'd argue with you, but I did punch a hole in your wall earlier, so
She kind of just like gets all blush in the cheeks.
Josh, were you there for that?
No,
We walked in because we
had the
heard.
screen pulled up, but everything was muted.
Yeah, we had
He's gonna flip her 10 gold.
we heard the seamstress scream, so we went to her, but she was getting fucked by her husband. And then to get his attention, Boddynock filled his fist with chi like Iron Fist and punched a hole through her wall to get the attention. And then I grabbed him. Meanwhile, he was just giving her the diddly, so we were really embarrassed, to say the least.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so 10 gold. You flip her 10 gold. She hands over the clothes and the
Is there
and the cloak.
a general store of sorts?
I mean,
Market.
market.
Yeah,
Market. That's where Akalius is.
Yeah, I
now.
went to go get us all food and stuff.
I'm
I
gonna head to the
need
market.
something like a witch doctor or a
There's an alchemist.
wizard.
Yeah, the alchemist. That's where Varyk is now. Gorram, she takes your order as well and says the same, but because you didn't need the bedroll and blankets, she's going to give everything to you for 5 gold.
Okay, just out of curiosity, what color is the cloak? It's not like red or purple or something, is it?
No,
It's
no,
like a
no.
neutral color.
Yeah,
like
it's
black,
dark. It's dark
something.
brown. It's dark brown. Did you hear me?
I did now. Thank you.
Yeah, it's dark brown. So 5 gold for the cloak and the coat.
All right.
Okay. She hands that over to you and kind of just smiles. She's happy to see a face that wasn't in her shop earlier. And then you guys are leaving. You're going to the market, and you're already at the market. And distance is going. Are you taking Jimmy with you?
Yeah.
Okay. Varyk, you're already there.
At the alchemist?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So they're headed to the market. Gorram, are you going with Boddynock to the market?
Yeah, I'll head over there too.
Okay. So the 3 of you are going there. Distance, Jimmy, and Varyk are at the wizard shop, the alchemist. As you kind of enter his shop, his kind of metered demeanor is kind of all over the place now. He seems to be a little bit more flustered and agitated. He kind of greets you, but almost with a grumble. What were you looking to do, sir?
I would like to, a couple things. I would like to buy, where is it? I guess I wouldn't be here then.
Just tell me what you're looking to do.
The other stuff I didn't think I would have to go to the blacksmith for that. My grappling hooks, caltrops, and what's his name again?
Allegius.
Allegius. Allegius. I need to get my weapon enchanted for the road.
Okay. Well, what are you looking to do?
What do you mean?
What
Just
do
get
you-
enchanted?
Yeah. With what?
Force.
Okay. So what effect are you trying to embody into this weapon?
Kind of tell me what you're trying to say. I don't know what you mean by that. Right
What
now.
are you trying to make the weapon do?
Oh, deal magic damage and increased.
Okay. What does it deal now?
1d6.
Okay. Right. And you're trying to what kind of damage? Force damage.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you're trying to turn it from piercing into
Force damage.
force damage. All right.
And then make it a, like what I did with Raz, and make it a increase.
All right. I'm gonna roll for that. Oof. When you need it the most. There's no change.
I'd like to pay him gold to try again.
Remember what we said last time?
Hmm.
What did we say last time? He tried.
If I buy a new crossbow, can I try again, since it's a different weapon?
Yeah, but you wouldn't get the crossbow from him. You'd have to get it from the
Yeah,
blacksmith.
okay.
What else did you need from him?
That's it.
Okay. Distance. What are you looking to do?
Okay.
He's an alchemist. He's an alchemist, a mage. He can
He's
perform.
amazing.
He can perform spells. He can mix potions. What are you trying to do?
Okay, so what I would like to do, sir, is there's a member of our party that is able to cast a spell called, he calls it Spirit Weapon, that allows him to project his weapon at a different place on the battlefield, and it's able to attack. I have been studying him very closely and learning this spell myself, but I do not have the weapon or the technique to be able to really use this like I would want to. The boy that I have with me has shown great promise in battle. What I would like to be able to do is to project an image of the boy much bigger than what he is now, that is able to help fight for me in battle. If this is something that we're able to work with, gold is not an issue.
Like buying like a spell scroll almost to learn it, right? Type of thing.
Yeah, I mean, that's something that you just need to kind of like learn. So he's gonna kind of like look at you and look at the boy, and just basically he knows that you can already do it. You just need to focus. He's gonna say kind of slyly, because he's frustrated, that for 100 gold he'll make sure you can make it happen.
Okay. I want to, just because of my normal charisma and sly ways, I feel like I want to kind of do a perception, to see if he's trying to weasel, because
You can just tell just by looking at him.
You can,
Yeah.
I can help you do that. It sounded.
Yeah, he can look. You just by looking at him, you can tell that he's definitely just trying to get gold out of you, because he doesn't really just want to tell you that you can already do it.
Okay. Well, I rolled a 2, so I'm gonna say that he fooled the shit out of me and I'll pay him the 100
Okay.
gold.
He takes the 100 gold from you and snickers, and kind of says, "Is there anything else?"
To do that, I was willing to pay a ton of money to be able to do this.
Damn, how did you have 100 gold in Snickers?
Not in Snickers, and Snickers.
Can I just tell you what I want to buy from the blacksmith this time?
Yeah.
The last thing that I want to ask him real quick before we leave is if he has, and I want to kind of whisper this to him so that Jimmy can't hear, but I want to ask him if there's a way that if something happens to me and I die in battle, that my soul will transfer into Jimmy's body.
He kind of like looks at you and kind of says, like, chuckles and goes, yeah, that definitely would work. Another 100 gold. And I'll make sure that happens.
Alright, I'm gonna roll again.
Okay.
I feel like this wizard's gonna be big.
He is.
Alright, I rolled a 17, or a 13 plus 4, so 17.
Yeah, so you can definitely tell that he has no idea that if that's possible or if he could, but he's just trying to get another 100 gold from you.
Alright. Well, what I want to do then is I want to cast my spiritual weapon, just an image of it to make sure they didn't BS me on that,
Okay.
and make sure that it works.
Okay. You cast it out, and you just see a giant glowing Jimmy with a big smile on his face.
Oh my god. A glowing Jimmy.
It's beautiful. Alright. We thank the man, we bid him farewell, and we piss off to go find the rest of the
Okay.
Piss off.
In the meantime, Varyk has run back to the blacksmith to buy a new crossbow.
Alright, in IRL, I gotta take the
Well,
trash
buy
out real
one
quick.
stuff,
I'll be back in like.
What do you
Just give me a list of stuff.
Okay. All right. Just tell me what the price is, and you can buy it for half off. I'm trying to-
I'm buying 5 things of caltrops, which
Okay.
is 15.
Yeah.
3 things of crossbow bolts, which is 3, so 8. 2 grappling hooks,
Okay.
which is another 8, so 16. Maybe have the crowbar. Don't need a lantern. A magnifying glass. That would probably be my. What do you think the magnifying glass would be?
I don't think they would have one. Nobody would have one.
No one would have one?
No.
And then 2 sets of manacles, which are like restraint cuffs.
Okay.
Um,
And then you're buying another crossbow.
I'm buying 4 crossbows.
How are you carrying 4 crossbows?
I'm holding each one of them, the rings, and I'm holding them like that.
What? How are you going to fight with 4 crossbows in your hands?
Oh no, I'm not going to fight with 4 crossbows. I'm not going to let this motherfucker just ring me over and fucking tell me he's not going to... I don't care how much money it costs.
I really hope you roll full natural ones just because it'd be hilarious.
If he does, the magic explodes. And I take out the entire city.
It's what is it, a wildfire or whatever it's called?
And there is alchemist fire.
So you come back with 4 different crossbows. The alchemist Allegius is not happy to see you. He's quite annoyed actually that he has to keep dealing out all these things for the party that's kind of slashed his business in half because he has no purpose anymore.
Mm-hmm.
He's willing to try again for you, but you're going to either get nothing or +1 in a bonus. So you're not going to go down 1, right? But you're only going to get a max of 1 if he tries again. So you can try all 4 times if you'd like, but only one of them is going to get a max of +1.
Okay. 17.
Okay. So he kind of just half-assedly just holds his hand over it, and kind of you see it kind of glow for a second, and he just kind of slides it back across the table and says, "Get out of my shop." And he doesn't even ask you for any gold. And then you leave the shop, and he's like, "Wait, fuck. I was too hasty."
Alright,
Hey, Jack.
Yes.
While we were walking around town, we went through the part that was all burnt up and destroyed.
Yes.
By chance, would there have been any like nails or something lying around that I might have been able to scoop up a couple?
Yeah, of course. If you
Okay,
were being astute
I just
enough to
need a
like.
handful of iron nails or iron pieces,
Okay.
something like that.
All right.
Alright, thanks.
Yep. So you guys are at the market. What are you looking for?
so I go up to Boddynock when he walks up, and I'm gonna go, "Hello, little friend. I have a gift for you." And then I'm going to take off my backpack. I'm gonna open it up and give him all the flasks I pulled up for him. I saw you were a little dry. Why don't you try one really quick? I think you'll like.
Pop the cork off of one of them and sniff it.
Can we say that this is like the best alcohol you've ever had? Like you've never been able to afford the top shelf. Like this is gonna blow your dick off. Like
Where did you get this?
it's a gift from a friend.
Smells expensive.
Not for us, we're heroes.
He's gonna take a swig and what would your judgment on a 13 Constitution be?
On the.
Just in
on
terms
the,
of like a taste test.
You love it, but you need to take another long swig to really get the full taste.
So he'll definitely take a few more swigs out of it. And he thoroughly enjoys it. Boddynock.
I'm just gonna pat him on the back of him.
This was very thoughtful of you. Thank you.
I also bought food and rations for everyone, so there's no need to get food. But if
Oh,
you need anything else from the market, you feel free to do whatever.
Does anybody need anything else immediately from the market?
I was just gonna get tackled.
Tackle.
Sure.
Perfect. All right. You can find that.
Not from the market,
Okay.
but maybe the temple. I just need some holy water for my components.
Okay.
Is that possible?
In the temple, you don't really find any water or anything like that. You can.
I mean, because I can do radiant energy. Could
Yeah, I mean, technically, you can just, between you and between Akalius, one of you can bless any form of water and turn it into holy water.
Okay.
That would be foreseeable, I would think, with Paladine being.
After getting the tackle, I'm You left the market, right?
I was just waiting for everyone, but yeah, I'm
Okay.
just waiting to go so we can all go to the fortune teller.
Boddynock is gonna ask one last. He's gonna go back to Akalius, and he's going to tell him that he needs a moment alone, and that he'll meet them at the fortune teller.
Okay.
That's fine. So that's fine.
Okay, so Boddynock is going to actually exit the gate at St. Palatia.
Okay.
And he is going to go out to kind of like where the trees start to show up around the city, and he's going to walk a little bit in there, and there's basically going to be like a kind of like a clearing.
Okay.
And in the back of the clearing, kind of, there'll be like a really dense patch of like greenery, and he's going to kind of push that open, and behind the bushes there is going to be a large wooden object with a lot of ropes attached to it.
Okay.
And he's going to kind of lift that up and grab a book underneath it.
Okay.
And he's going to put the platform back down, put the bushes back as they were, and he's going to head back.
Okay.
Got a little hidey hole.
A hidey ho. Is everybody? So everybody's in agreement to go to
Fortune teller.
fortune teller.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, sure.
All right. So as you guys like head out past the bar and the inn, you see Winnie and Mrs. Patmore just kind of like waving to you again as you pass them. You head down towards the slums, which you just see kind of still the aftermath of the looting and the rioting. Everybody's kind of like all over the place. Kind of people just kind of running back and forth, yelling, shouting, but they're pretty much ignoring you. They're not really like paying you any attention.
Melina, right? Melina.
The Lady Melina, yeah. You kind of like go down after you go across the bridge into the slums area. You make a left and go down into almost towards where Mordecai's fight ring was. But this time on your way through, you notice kind of like a quaint little what looks like a small log, like almost like a shanty that has a really small door, and over top of the door is kind of like these like purple rugs, and you kind of get the vibe that like this is the place.
Wouldn't he know what it is? Cause
He would definitely know. Varyk would definitely know.
We'll just have Varyk show us the way.
Okay.
That's fine.
So you get there and you step inside the small door, but like as soon as you step in, it's just like the room is just massive. It seems like very like deceiving on how small the hut looked with how big how big the inside of the room is. And on the walls you see kind of like tapestries and like kind of like rugs and curtains, and there's like multiple rugs on the floor, and in front of you is kind of this older, larger woman with a big red like babushka bandana sitting there. She's very large chested, and she's wearing a purple kind of dress, and like she's got a chain around her neck with like some weird symbol kind of laying flat, but she's a sight to see. And you walk in, and before you can even say anything, she speaks up at you. Oh, come in, everybody, come in and sit down. I will take one of you at a time, just one. I'm Lady Melina, come on in. Hi, hello, I've been waiting for you.
You've been waiting for us. Do you know what we are here for?
I do, I know you, Akalius. Come on, come in. Do you want to sit down first, or who? No, not Varyk. I don't like him. Who's going to sit down first? Maybe the little boy? No, I don't want to see him. You, Akalius, you'll sit down first.
As you wish.
I'm the Lady Melina. Hello again. Nice to see you.
I'm Akalius, as we
I know. Come sit down. I knew that you were coming. If you would have come to see me the last time, I would have told you not to go to the mountains. I would have told you there was a Yeti up there. I could have told you, but you didn't come to see me.
He's not there anymore.
That's neither here nor there. I could have told you not to do that.
I told you he's not there. We killed him.
Yeah, I even knew about that green goblin that tricked you. I knew it. I could have warned you, but you didn't come to see me.
Why the fuck does everybody know everything about me?
I knew it. I saw it ahead of time, but you didn't see it. Anyway, sit
Speaking
down.
of
I'm going to help you this time.
I need questions. If you know why I'm here, then what answers can you give
Yes,
us?
there is no questions. You sit down, I read your fortune, you leave. This is the way it works. I'm not going to charge you. You're just going to sit down in front of me, okay? Okay, you first. You come here.
Alright, Miss Lady Melina. What does my fortune say?
You sit down at the table in front of her, and she kind of, out of nowhere, maybe like out from inside her bra, she just pulls out this deck of cards, and she just starts shuffling them, and like a little bead of sweat just goes off the end of the card, and hits you in the forehead. And she's all sorry about that. That's my fault. Sorry, it gets a little hot in here.
I can see
I
why.
can't handle this boy.
It's so good.
She's got like a plus 13, just like a hand. Just
This is my favorite NPC
Oh, I'm so
far.
sorry.
Reminds me that she's literally the female version of Groot from fucking, what is that show called?
Despicable.
Yeah, Despicable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's his mom. Yeah. So anyway, so she sits down, or you sit down in front of her, and she kind of shuffles the cards, and she goes, "Oh, this is going to be good." And she stops, and she lays down a card in front of you, and it's the sun. There's a sun with a scarab on the front of the card, and you kind of like look at it, and you like look at her, and she's like looking at it, and she's looking at you, and kind of just doing
What does this mean?
this thing, and she goes, "Hold on, I'm raising the card. Just wait a minute." And she looks at it and she goes, "You have recently been rewarded for your faithfulness, and they think if you continue on this path, you'll be good." Okay, next. You little man, come sit down. Get this guy out the door.
One moment, I don't mean to pry, but
No, that's all I have for you. Thank you. Next.
alright, Ariana Grande.
Oh.
Yes.
Boddynock's gonna go after the chair.
Better luck with you, little one. I don't know what the fuck she's saying. Don't feel any smart.
Can somebody give this one a pillow? I can't see him.
I'm gonna stand up in the
I'm
chair.
just gonna.
She kind of shuffles the cards again, and she kind of looks at them, and she stops
This is Lady
and slaps down a card,
Yes.
and it's a chalice,
Why did you keep
so it's like a giant cup,
Uh-huh.
and she looks at it, and she looks at you, and she looks down at it again, and she goes,
That's his sister.
I think this one is self-explanatory. Go ahead, next one. Who's next?
I feel like this city's filled with incompetence.
And then she kind of like looks around. She looks at Varyk. She looks at Distance and Gorram, and she kind of is like, "Who's next? Who's sitting down here? I need to talk to all of you."
Demon, go up there. Let's give this. Yeah.
Gorram grumbles and then walks out. Just like leaves.
That grumpy one. Is he always like that? Because I had
One
something
thing.
to tell him.
Tell me, I'll let him know I speak his language.
Okay, so there. Hold on 1 second. She kind of shuffles again real quick, and she lays down a card that has like a wispy spirit on it, and it's like kind of like a woman holding a skull, and she goes, "There's something that somebody wants to tell that guy. If you want to bring him back in here real quick, there's something that somebody has to say."
I'm just gonna tell him in Dwarvish, get your ass back in here.
Does Gorram
Kiss my ass first.
But what if I can reach a small one? Get in here.
Are you staying outside, or are you poking your head back in?
I will drag you in here if I have to.
Well, Gorram doesn't deal well with people telling him what to do, so having this other guy tell him what to do, he's just gonna fucking walk off. He's like, whatever, fuck you all, I got things to do.
I'm gonna walk out. Your thing to do is to get in here and listen to this woman.
And from inside the tent, you hear, "I don't have all day."
I feel like she has all day.
I'm gonna ask him, can he please just go and listen to this crazy woman so we can move to the next part of our journey?
He grumbles, kicks some shit on the ground, and walks in.
Thank you for being reasonable.
Good. Welcome back. I just have one thing to say. There's somebody that's out there that wants to say something to you, and here it is. Fuck you, Gorram.
Nice.
Damn.
I don't know where that came from, but that was something else. Who's next?
I'm glad we got that out of the way.
What'd you say?
He leaves the building again.
Fuck you, Gorram!
Uh,
Go away, guy!
Demon, you're the last one up. Distance, go listen to this woman's babble.
There's still 2 people here.
Yes.
I thought she said she's not gonna talk to him.
No, she was kidding. She said she didn't like him.
Alright, Distance, you go
Distance
next.
next up. So Distance sits down in front of her, and she becomes very serious, and she kind of looks at her, and then she kind of shuffles the cards and lays down like a man's face that looks like he's in the middle of a cloud. And
Cool, this is like the best card, guys. Like, you know, like this one.
Is that holographic?
Can you find that on like cool stuff?
she kind of like looks at it and she goes, the small child that travels with you, he is from here. He's not from where you got him from. You bought him, didn't you? You purchased him, but he's not from there. That was not his parents. I think this little one is from here.
He's from this town?
You know what? Yes. He was kidnapped as a baby. He's actually from St. Galatia.
He was a king baby?
He was kidnapped.
King baby. Oh my god. No, he was kidnapped as a
He
baby.
was kidnapped as a baby from his
I honestly thought you said king as well, so I'm
I
not.
didn't.
No, excuse my accent. I don't speak English very well.
Yeah, where are you from?
Don't
What's
worry
English?
about it.
I'm from a Russia.
I'm from a place
I
where...
think you should take what do you call him?
Jimmy is his name.
Oh,
Jimmy.
Jimmy. You should take him to see the Corinths in the royal court before you leave.
Corinth?
Fuck is a cool?
Because that is not your baby, and that's not their baby, and you bought the stolen child, is what I'm trying to say.
But yes, I know that, kind of, so, like, I don't want to bring attention to that, so why do I want to go in front of other people and let them know that I bought a stolen child?
He is a part of our group now. We're taking care of him. We are his parents.
Maybe the parents would reward you for bringing him back. Maybe they miss him. I don't know. Maybe they would see it as a good thing.
Jimmy's just got a scar on his eye, just super ripped. I want to see my mom.
Why don't we ask Jimmy what he wants to do?
If we would like to keep Jimmy, we should be able to keep him.
He's our listener.
All he wants to do is eat lollipops and play on the playground all day. Like, he doesn't get to make decisions. I'm his father, and I tell him what we're doing.
Jesus Christ.
But Jimmy can kind of hear the conversation. And you can see kind of almost like a worried look on his face.
Jimmy, earmuffs.
Kind of already heard everything.
Yeah, he already heard everything. So Lady Melina has kind of given you her 2 cents. The whole party now knows that Jimmy wasn't bought from homeless people. He wasn't actually their kid. So now the whole party has a moral dilemma of deciding whether to keep Jimmy with you all or returning him to his actual parents. In the meantime, Distance, you're gonna stand up, and Varyk, you're gonna sit down. So
What's your name, Melina?
Melina.
Melina, always a pleasure.
Oh yes, Varyk. It's great to see you too. I know. 1 second, let me get you a card. Hold on. So she shuffles the cards and lays down a dagger on the card and kind of looks at it and then looks at you and she kind of looks back at you kind of solemnly and she's like, "You have joined the party here that will lead you straight into danger. You are no stranger to violence, but you know it's going to get pretty crazy. So
I told him about the dragons. He doesn't. He likes.
This is going to test your will more than ever before. That's all I have to say. Okay, bye."
I don't know about you guys, but yeah, I think we should take him back.
Who, Jimmy?
Yeah.
All of you kind of stand up and kind of go out to
I'm
kind of
keeping him.
have a chat. Before you leave, though, she kind of says, "Oh, wait 1 minute.
I didn't want to leave yet.
Yeah, there is one more thing that I wanted to say to you, Akalius. I forgot. Very important. No, you all need to get on a boat.
That is a way. I was trying to figure out how I could get there.
Oh, right. Yes, you should go see. There's a guy. His name is Captain of Belmont.
Okay? He's a great captain. He's from this town, and he will help you. Okay? You gotta go see him. He's in the bar.
Where can I find this
He's
captain?
in the bar. I just said that. He's up and he's drinking. Go see him.
Just need to calm down. I start sweating all over the place.
Excuse me, little man. Did this guy just tell me to calm down?
I
You
didn't
sure
get
did,
shit.
The guy from the last one who told you to calm down is still in the hospital.
I know.
I'd like to see you try.
Oh, please! Roll for initiative, please!
I just
She's a
cut her
level
head.
17 wizard.
I cut her head clean off. Oops.
She's actually a
She
fighter
beats the shit out
monk.
of you. She literally beats the shit out of you.
She turns into a dragon.
She's level like 18. Fucking
Turns into a dragon.
You all are
Good
still
day.
standing there. She's just giving you a little bit the actual piece of information that you needed, and she's kind of like still staring at it. She's like,
Well, what are you waiting for? Get out. Go.
Thank you so much. You were very helpful.
Would you like a drink?
she just kind of like looks at you, and then from like underneath her dress, just pulls out just like this huge like sack of wine. Just like
I imagine out of a flap. Just
Boddynock is gonna put his flask back. And
It's actually like medieval box.
it's like drenched in sweat.
yeah, just I just imagine like it looks like webs coming in.
I like to keep it there to keep it warm.
Oh, what are you waiting for? Bye-bye.
Boddynock's gonna go outside and throw up.
I'm gonna talk to everyone. The boy deserves to decide if he wants to be with his family or not. It is not our place to take a child from their home. I was orphaned.
Here's my main issue with this scenario is, have we been to a town yet where people liked me?
This one, they don't seem to have a problem with you.
Everywhere that we go, that people stare at me with dagger eyes. So if we now walk up and go, oh yes, we've rescued a child, that they're not gonna believe me, and I'm gonna be thrown in prison.
When's the last time someone didn't believe you?
I'm trying to get going around 10ish. Sorry, I feel like you know sooner, but
Yeah, I appreciate your confidence, but at the same time, I don't think anyone knows who actually kidnapped this child, Jimmy, in the beginning. That now all of a sudden I have him in my possession. I'm a little bit wary of other people finding out how we came about to.
The only thing that if anything, it'd be better because we saved him from these crazy homeless people. The rest of the details are not important. What should be important is that he is happy. I understand that we are his family, but
Funny man, do you care for the lad?
I can only hold 50 pounds of equipment, and I am currently carrying
glorified
58
squire.
because he's able to help me on this, and so.
But do you have
don't
an
want to
emotional
be, like,
attachment?
by an ass to help carry
Do I-
stuff, so
Jack, do
yes,
I know
he
the
is-
family?
He is
Yeah.
helpful.
I do know the
yeah,
family.
Corinth.
Do you have
The Corns.
an emotional attachment to him?
Are they wealthy? They are wealthy.
I don't believe
They're
that
a
this.
royal, they're a royal family.
They're a royal family. Are they nice?
Yes.
Because at the end of the day, if you don't actually care for the boy, it is best that he's with his family.
Have they moved on?
We all care for Jimmy.
Yeah.
However,
Have they moved on?
you are his actual caretaker,
No.
No, they've been.
and I feel
it
as
was-
though
he was taken as.
it would be wrong to
Newborn
keep him
almost, like-
otherwise.
But he's 8 now, right?
Yeah, I mean they've been.
And I agree.
Maybe they
I'm
think
not
he's
wanting
dead
to
or
keep him
whatever,
from
but
If they are a
family,
rich,
but at the same time, like I said, I'm mainly nervous about putting the information out there that.
the information is what we're heroes. That is all that matters.
Well,
The
also,
cool-
I mean, he was kidnapped, and regardless of how we came about getting Jimmy,
We saved
all the
him.
family's gonna know is that we brought him back to them.
Why don't we ask Varyk? I feel like he would know more about
Because
the
we
city.
don't even have to say that we bought him. Like, we can honestly say that we found him in Safeguard, and
I
that,
mean,
like,
I am a human trafficker, and I'm about to go tell everybody that I'm a human trafficker.
I mean, we're all in the same boat.
You've been admonished for your crime systems.
Yeah, the king absolved you of all your crimes, so.
Yeah, until I announced that a whole new crime that no one knew about.
I mean, we're all in a group together, so if we go down, we're all going down together. But it's not fair to keep a child.
Where's Jimmy next to distance?
He's kind of like standing behind him, like up against his like leg.
I kind of want to walk
will have
behind,
my back,
like thinking I'm like looking at something
we
else.
can go and we can
Let me know when I appear behind
speak
him.
with the council or whatever it is, and at that point Jimmy can make up his mind. But it did cost me a lot of money.
From what I understand, from our good pal Varyk here, they're very wealthy.
If we're compensated in some way, then I could be okay. Maybe. We'll see.
Alright, let's go.
Let's play this out.
I don't want Jimmy to go.
I mean, Caleb doesn't, but
That's what I mean.
Okay,
Ben doesn't
listen.
want Jimmy to go.
I was an orphan, so like if I had a chance to be with my parents when I was a kid, like that's how I'm thinking as a kid. He would, like, the kid deserves to not be on the road constantly in danger if he doesn't have to be. And we'll get paid for it, maybe.
I've tucked this kid into his bed every night for the past 2 weeks.
Guys, we don't know what's going to happen when we reach the corn, so
Why don't we go figure it out, and then we'll play it by ear.
worst case. How about this? Gorram or David, why don't you watch Jimmy? We go see the family, find out what they feel about Jimmy, and kind of scope out these people. If they're good people, give them Jimmy. Let them be with this family. If they're bad people, don't give them to Jimmy. They don't have to know any better.
I'm not a babysitter.
Boddynock can watch after Jimmy.
Boddynock can watch after Jimmy.
Okay.
Alright, me.
I'm not a
And
babysitter.
the corn's no way in, correct?
Yes, the corn is no bear.
I can
Tying
go
Jimmy up in the stable with the axe.
Wait, what?
Alright, I get.
Buy an axe.
You did.
I did, yeah.
He bought some ass, you know what I'm saying?
All right. So who's going to see the corn?
Busted ass.
Me, Varyk, and distance, I guess.
Okay. So Varyk takes you to kind of a large estate near the capital. It's a pretty big house. There's a man and a woman that live there that have several servants. Their names are Aaron and Jasmine Corinth. They're very wealthy. They have a very large, like I said, large estate. A lot of, you can see there's a lot of like expensive furniture, and just they live very well. Is there anything that you'd like to ask them or say to them?
Hello. It has come to my attention that
How are you doing today?
Hello, Varyk. It's good to see you again. I'm glad the city is safe.
you're welcome.
Yes, thank you. We were at that celebration, and it was a little crazy. We're still feeling kind of,
I feel you.
yeah. Well, you were fine. It was your friends that were kind of,
Yeah, they don't know how to drink like a dwarf.
yeah. I guess not, but I don't either. Clearly, I was.
Clearly.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, Varyk. Yes. Why are you here?
I'm giving him a tour of the city.
Oh, okay.
And,
Welcome to our house.
Hello.
Yes, I figured you being one of the noble families,
Yes.
they might as well introduce themselves properly.
Yes.
As a
thank
hero
you.
of the city, I'd like to just, say hello. My name is Akalius.
Yes, Akalius, hello, thank you. Again, once again,
Meet you.
for saving the city.
How did you guys come to amass all this wealth? This is a lovely home you have here.
We are exporters. We import and export things.
Such as?
Various goods for sale that you may have found in some of shops, blacksmithing tools and materials.
So good, honest work.
Oh, absolutely.
Nothing criminal.
No, of course not. We are a royal family in the royal bloodline.
I'd like to perform an insight check.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Perfect. Yeah, I mean, you take it at face value, and they actually, Aaron is kind of like unnerved by the fact of how hard you're staring at him. He's kind of like, Varyk,
That's something in my eyes.
you okay?
You have all these servants here, and are they for your children?
No. We only had one child, and unfortunately, yes, our child was taken from us in the middle of the night about 8 years ago.
That's a tragedy. I'm sorry to hear that.
It has been an incredible burden on our family since then. My wife can't bear the thought of having another child, and since we've had no more children, we have no one to carry on the family name.
Yeah, I was an orphan. It was. I wish I had the ability to meet my real parents.
I can only imagine.
It was.
I lost visuals.
You don't need visuals.
Yeah, I did too.
I can see you again. But yeah, I'm sorry to hear that. Have you heard anything? Was there any investigation? Has there any been word?
The child disappeared, and we never heard anything after that.
Have you given up search?
I mean, at this point, we assume he's dead.
Would you still want a child?
Would we want a child?
Well, not a child. Would you, if you had a child, would you be?
If you were able to find your son.
I don't even want to talk about that. That makes me sad. I don't. It's been so long. I mean, we haven't had any children for that simple fact that our only child was taken from us. Why are you asking these questions? I'm sorry.
I'm venturing out with the party.
Sorry, am I there? Is Gorram there?
Yeah.
Also, we lost a visual on everything.
No,
yeah, no, it's okay.
I thought you stayed with Boddynock at the wagon with Jimmy. So.
He's not a babysitter.
Yeah, I wasn't sure. I was just making sure.
Well, I mean, he's not. You are, but he's just hanging out with his ass. But
I'm venturing with the party, and
I just saw all this amazing. You know, you do quite well for yourself. I was just curious. I thought maybe you'd have children. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to bring up something sore for you. I apologize.
It's quite all right.
I wish there was something I could do to bring joy back to your life that maybe you don't have. I know we all wish we could help.
Distance.
Yeah, I wish we could.
So, if there's nothing else,
No, it was great meeting you guys. You seem like a lovely couple.
yes,
You would have.
yes,
Your child would have loved to be here with you.
You keep bringing up the child. I'm sorry not to be rude, but I'm not feeling so well at the moment. I'm gonna go. I think lay down for a while.
That's fine. I apologize.
Thank you again. Thank you again for saving us.
Can I perform an investigation check on the state of their manner? Has their lives changed at all since losing their child? Do they seem any less?
It's been 8 years, dude. What are you investigating?
Shouldn't you know this already?
Yeah, I mean they're
Are they still functioning?
They're wealthy. Yeah, they're wealthy.
Do they seem like good people? Honest people.
Yeah.
From what I can tell.
Yeah. They're a higher up royal family in the
Maybe we should get Jimmy back.
in the king's court.
Same, but.
Distance.
All right. Well, I'm gonna leave. I guess we're gonna leave and talk.
Okay.
What do you feel, Distance? I think he would be happier here, and obviously they have the wealth.
I think that it's time to talk with Jimmy about the situation. I don't want to make up his mind and take him there. I want to let him
Of course,
decide on what he wants to do.
he'll always be part of our family, but he does have a real family. All right. Well, I guess we'll go back to Jimmy.
You get there, Sasha's on top of him, he's on the ground, just calling his nose.
He's mauled to death by the man.
Let's leave the corpse on there.
Well, I guess that solved itself.
Hey, we found your son.
Just drop his bloody corpse.
Why is he ripped? It's scars and weapons.
Well, you were right, he was dead. Good day.
So you're back with Jimmy.
I'll let you talk to him, Distance. You did buy him, so.
So yeah, I guess I want to explain what the situation is. I mean, I feel like that he's been able to gather most of the information from the fact that I don't know what age he was when he was taken.
He was
Baby.
a baby.
It sounded like it was a long time, so he probably
Yeah.
didn't remember that.
No.
But the fortune teller telling him about things, you know. So, yeah, so we tell him that we talked to his parents, and then what, as far as we can tell, they don't seem like shitheads.
No,
Yes.
they seem like good, hardworking royal family, so he'd be well looking.
He would
looking
be.
after.
He would
They
be.
can't speak.
He would be a prince.
He would be what?
Prince of
A
Palatia.
prince of Palatia.
It's like Prince of Persia, but not.
But cooler. Give him 2 scimitars and the sands of time and he's good. Yeah.
Conquer kingdoms.
You know, he can go be with them and be a prince, or like
Or
he can
die
stay with us and
with
be
us.
like a cool fighter kid. I don't know. It's up to you, boy. What you want to do.
You roll. Just roll a d20 for me.
Oh my
Alright. Can you see my screen?
This is when your natural 20s come into play, Josh.
I can see your screen.
Do it, Josh!
I don't know what he's rolling for, so I don't know how it's gonna
It's
work.
it's in my head.
I know. 11.
So Jimmy kind of like thinks for a second and kind of maybe contemplating where he was when you found him versus where he is now and what he's taught, but also seeing the potential of having a mom and a dad, a real mom and a dad. He kind of gets like teary-eyed a little bit, and he kind of rushes over to distance. I know you're pretty close to him, like physically, but he kind of like moves a little bit and like hugs you around the waist, but he kind of looks up at you from hugging, and he says he wants to go meet his dad.
Ooh.
Okay.
I'm gonna cry.
So I guess we're going to walk him back up to
Are you sure you want to go
his parents'
distance?
house. Huh?
I said, are you sure you want to go?
Yes.
Okay.
I'll walk with him.
It'll be the same party, I guess.
Okay. So you walk back to the Corinth's house, and Varyk, are you knocking on the door?
Yeah.
Okay.
Can you be our median? Just kind of explain
Mm-hmm.
the situation.
Well, yeah, I'm the inquisitor of
Yeah.
so I'm the law.
Yeah, so just pretty much explain the reason why we were there, and then just be like,
So
here we go.
so Aaron and Jasmine come back to the door, and they see
I
you.
have Akalius in distance, kind of like blocking their vision from Jimmy.
Yeah.
Like he's kind of like behind
Yeah,
them.
yeah. And they open the door and they see you, and they're kind of like, oh, what are you guys doing
Aaron,
here again?
Jasmine, can we talk for just a second more? Would you mind if we come in and have a seat, please?
Of course. So you guys move in, and kind of they see Jimmy, but they don't think anything of it. It's just a kid. So they see him, and they're kind of like, oh, because he's disheveled and all of that.
Yeah.
But he's with you, so they just let you all in.
Their hair color's the same, right?
Jimmy's and
Yeah.
I mean they're like fair haired.
So Aaron, your case has been open for quite some time now, and upon my travels with what's the group called? Is there a group name? No. Raz and Company. We came across a child.
Jasmine immediately kind of like starts to get like unsettled in her seat.
Jasmine just, why is he using the word we?
Yeah, you didn't do shit, pussy.
Yeah.
He's speaking on behalf of you guys.
Also, he's in my travels with the group.
To say the group pollution.
Okay, continue.
We came across a young boy who shared the same features that your baby had.
He had 2 eyes and
He was the child.
Eye color and hair color.
Yeah.
Who also didn't know his family. He was found in the city of Safeguard.
Would it be? Sorry, Danger. Would they care more if I said it or Luke said it, just because of the whole hero thing?
No, I mean
I didn't know if
they know him, so
that's what I figured.
Yeah.
I didn't know if one would carry more weight than the other.
Yeah.
'Cause technically we found them, so I didn't know.
Do I know their son's name? What
I
they
feel
named
like
their son?
ultimately, even like distance actually telling a story would probably be, because then they get the full grip of like where their child was at. I mean, like
He's already started to
well, I know.
talk.
Yeah,
So.
that's true. Okay.
And I kind of motion over for Jimmy.
He reluctantly kind of like steps forward out from behind distance.
This young man, his name is Jimmy.
They just kind of like.
However, you might know him as.
I know you lost your boy Adam. Distance here found the child cold and hungry
Rescued him. He's a great man.
and cared for him until we reached Palatia once again. And I have a hunch that this young man is your son.
What makes you? Why would you think? What makes you think that?
Again, from
The wife is visibly upset.
Do they believe in the fortune teller? Like, is that something that they believe in?
Sure.
I'm gonna tell them. Lady Melina has instructed us that we come see you. Lady Melina.
They both kind of like look at each other.
She
what did she tell you?
She gave us insight on the boy that we rescued.
She said that this was our son.
Yes, ma'am.
For sure.
She said
100%.
She said he was stolen from this town 8 years ago. Was there another child stolen from this town 8 years ago?
Not that we're aware of, Varyk.
This is the only case of a stolen
So
baby.
unless there was anyone else, which Varyk would know.
You kind of see.
Plus,
He also told us to come speak to the Corinths, so...
Yeah.
Jasmine's eyes kind of like just well up with tears, and she kind of like falls to her knees at the sight and realization that her son that she thought was dead for 8 years is most possibly standing in front of her.
I know this is tough and could be very difficult for you. And sorry for the false pretenses earlier. I wanted to make sure we have taken care of Jimmy for a long time and we care about him like our own. And we want to make sure he will be safe. And we wanted to make sure that you guys were good people. And I'm sorry for, bringing it up and maybe causing pain earlier, but I wanted to be sure he was in good hands. He means a lot to me and definitely my pal Distance over here. We've cared for him like he was our own. But we want what's best, of course.
Aaron kind of like has his hand on his wife's shoulder and kind of like looks over at Jimmy, who is out now. You know him as Adam, and he kind of like reaches out his hand to almost as like asking Adam to come towards him. And Adam kind of like reluctantly like looks at Distance and then kind of like steps forward a little bit and then just kind of like runs into Aaron's kind of like side, and then they kind of like all just kind of like collapse on each other.
Dead.
No, they're all just like sobbing. And well, except for Adam because he's a hardened. He's not really crying, but
I have a small tear. I'm just gonna wipe away.
Distance. Is there anything that you would like to say to them?
How much you want for him?
That sounds like some Distance would say.
Yeah, I would like to see if they have. Fuck, I don't know.
No, here, this is how you word it, right? Just tell him that it's cost us a great deal, right, to make sure that he's safe. We were wondering if there was any way that we could have some kind of compensation for the amount that we've had to spend to keep him alive.
Yeah, they look. They don't even. It doesn't even faze them. They kind of just say, yes, of course. There was a ransom. We'll triple the ransom that was out 8 years ago.
Grievous.
Which was 500 gold for the return of.
So 1,500.
Correct, and that's going to be split between the three of you.
I think that we should suggest that we have drinks to celebrate. And Akalius, do you still have that basilisk tooth?
Yes, you do. You
Yeah,
do.
I have
Yeah.
yours, yeah. I have one left. But it's on my spear, so I don't really know how that works.
I never put it on the screen.
I did when I took it.
You could take it off. You just tied it on.
Yeah. So what are you trying to do?
He's gonna
I
fucking
want to
kill him.
poison his parents.
Yeah, I'm not gonna give him my basilisk too.
Oh!
This is the
The-
thing that we have.
The
Otherwise, I'm gonna have to start doing fireballs.
Distance, would you like acid?
But I like acid. I think I have an acid spell.
No. I like. Do you want acid? I have acid.
Like the drug?
Question.
No,
It does
because I feel like
2d6
that's
damage
gonna-
if you
it's
like.
gonna happen immediately, and I would like it to happen overnight, and we come back the next day and
Oh my god.
take the day.
I'm gonna advise we don't do that.
I've got some vials of poison. I mean,
the Cornins are in no. They're in no place to celebrate. They're willing to give you whatever. Their only focus right now is the fact that they have their son back. And they've now been embracing for so long. Aaron kind of like motioned for a servant who like rushes back with a giant sack of gold.
what if
You
these
can
are
try to
very
convince.
important
You can
people?
try to convince him that lady Melina said that he was the child of prophecy sent to slay the evil in this world, and that traveling with the party is the safest way.
Yeah,
I
they're.
think what I need to do is just take some time to process this and come up with a plan, and hopefully I will meet him again sometime soon. I don't know if there's anything I can do at this point without getting violent.
I'm just gonna go up to Adam and request that he continues Jimmy's training, because I've been training him. So the long of it or the short of it is I'm just gonna explain everything that I've been doing,
Yeah,
and if he could continue to have Jimmy trained in swordsmanship.
yeah.
Oh no, shit.
They're willing to do whatever, but they seem to be very in the moment. They kind of they're looking back at Varyk like they want you guys to.
We'll be back to see you soon.
I want to try to charm the mother.
The mother is rejoicing and grieving with the fact that she has her
Why can't we just do something nice?
son. They want you guys to leave.
I'm just gonna leave. With my...
Yeah, and I'm gonna try to charm her.
She's not even paying attention to you. She's wrapped up with her husband and with her son.
I
Cast Thunderwave.
I'm just gonna grab distance by his tail.
Somebody pick this man up.
I'm gonna grab distance and pull him.
Can I choke distance out?
If you'd like.
Alright.
I think we should.
Distance is obviously emotional. Somebody needs to escort him.
To the brothel.
Escort him out of the corner.
He's just crying.
They're still in the stable, or did you guys all come?
No, they stayed with. Well,
No,
I
they
guess
have
we-
Jimmy, yeah.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
But they were outside because only
Yeah.
you three went in. So you go back outside. Jimmy is Adam, right? Is now reunited with his family. There is everyone, even though Distance is very upset and emotional, there is a general feeling of goodness in the party. You guys
Distance-
feel like you did the right thing.
I know this is hard for you, Distance. I know you want to do something rash, but let's just do something nice for once and move on.
Distance, don't do anything that would make me kill you, please.
The boy will be happier, and we don't have to worry about him dying on our behalf.
You said you need to go to 11 or 10.
I was
You're trying to go
I'm
to
going
10.
to the brothel.
You're going to the brothel. Okay.
I'm gonna go meet this captain,
Yeah.
dude.
Okay.
Captain Belmont.
Yes,
Do I know Belmont?
you do. Do you need to roll?
Yeah, if I could.
Okay.
Alright.
Do you care if they go meet this captain?
By all means, sure.
Okay.
Yeah, just fill me in.
Get Discord on your phone. Just listen while you're driving.
Or you can just watch this stream.
Oh yeah, we can pull the stream and we'll just be talking. It's just all dialogue shit. So.
Or join Discord. You can talk
to
to.
like mount anything.
You don't have, just have it there. So
Do
you
you have
can listen.
Bluetooth on your car?
Yeah.
Then just put Discord on, and then you
Can
can
you
talk to
show
us.
me how to do a call? Because
I'll just add you. Hold on, I'm picking you guys up.
You go keep it.
Whoa!
Dave, you still there?
Totally rad.
Okay, good.
Yeah, I have work tomorrow morning too, so.
Yeah.
Trying to get to bed.
Yeah, our schedule sucks.
Yeah, man. 5:30. Rough time to wake up. Ooh. Was fun.
Hold on. For a second, how do I add people? Hold on, I might have to end the call. Let me call you right back.
Hey, no, don't anymore. You guys can,
Are you
you
good?
can fill me in
Are
there.
you good? Never mind, we're good.
Yeah.
Alright.
I see Dave tomorrow at work, so you can fill me
Okay.
in.
Alright. Put you back.
Alrighty. You fellas, have a great evening.
Alright,
Thank
you
you
too,
for the
buddy.
chili.
Yeah,
It was
absolutely.
wonderful.
So totally cuddle.
So totally kind.
Totally very.
Alright. Where did you?
Have a good one.
Now there.
That was emotional. That was an emotional roller coaster.
Yeah.
I think it's the right thing to do though. Because I was constantly worried about him dying at some point, and then I was going to feel really terrible about it.
I feel like
Hello, Luke, come on, man.
do something irrational,
I don't
but
know why you guys
not
were
like
talking.
devastatingly kill someone in a
Yep.
party.
I don't think that'd be a good idea.
So the remainder, you guys kind of walk out. You have your little moment, kind of, a little somber moment. Distance cut goes to try to find the brothel.
Was there not one in this city? I thought there wasn't.
No, there is one.
Oh, there was.
The rest of you head to the bar, where you're greeted again by Winthrop outside the bar.
Do you ever go back inside?
He's Brian.
He kind of looks around. I don't remember. I can't remember the last time I was inside. My wife takes care of everything inside. I think I just stand here and sweep.
And then,
He's been out here for 4 years.
it's weird, last time we were here, he was out here. He's still here.
He doesn't move. He's kind of an anomaly.
Still.
Should be.
Do I touch him?
No, he's actually he's a very skilled fighter.
Looks like
You should see what
he ever so still. He's like invisible.
underneath the broom. He pulls it up. There's a spear.
Eats chip. Alright, I'm gonna go in the bar.
Okay.
Do you know who this Belmont fellow is that we're supposed to look for? Do you know who he is?
What does he look like?
I'm gonna describe him if when they go in and see him. Like, who he is.
Is he flamboyant? Is he like a very colorful character? No.
It's probably gonna be hard and
Um,
semen.
I will. I'll bring Akalius over to the table of Captain.
Okay, what about Distance and Gorram?
Distance is
What about Boddynock and Gorram, Are you
yeah.
guys coming into the bar? Boddynock is, because he's gonna go drink,
Yeah.
of course, it's free.
Gorram, do you want to speak to the captain with us, or do you want to drink?
The captain?
Yes.
Yeah, I'll go along with you guys.
Okay. So you guys walk into the bar. Boddynock heads right over to the bar, kind of hops up, does a little backflip onto the bar stool, stands there, orders an ale from Mrs. Patmore, who slides it down to him, and he just starts chugging away. On the left side of the bar, you see kind of a grizzled older man, silvery hair, kind of like just sitting there, kind of like cockeyed on the one bar stool. He has like a long black overcoat on, and he's just kind of like sitting there, just tapping his fingers on the bar. He has a little glass of what looks like probably whiskey in front of him, just like something strong that he's just kind of like tossing back.
Is that Belmont?
Yes.
Should I go speak to him, or should you introduce us? What type of man is he?
What type of man is he?
He's a pretty even-tempered older guy. He's very weathered. Like I said, he's grizzled. It looks like he's been around a long time. He's seen a lot of things. If you know, I'm sure you know of the Great River is more than just a river. It's almost like a small sea
Channel.
Yeah, it's deep, it's wide. It's almost like more of a sea.
Is he like the most skilled?
He's the most veteran seaman that there.
I love you, nice seaman.
He's one of the finest ship captains.
Do you mind introducing me?
Absolutely.
You know him. I'm sure you have favor with him, as you do with most people in this town. It's probably a lot easier.
Yeah, actually I did. I introduced him to 2 of his 3 ex-wives.
It's not bad odds.
Belmont.
You get his attention, and he kind of like turns, and you're able to see his face. He has like a large, scruffy, silvery
Oh my
beard.
god, like with the pipe and like the hat and
Exactly, but he's kind of got this
He's
cloak
Captain
on.
Morgan.
He's got an eye patch over his right eye,
I'm ready for this.
so he kind of like turns and looks at you. He doesn't speak, but he just kind of like nods at your presence, seeing Varyk, and he kind of like again nods and then kind of like turns back to the bar.
Mr. Captain Belmont, I presume.
Mr. Captain, sir.
Doctor, Professor.
It's strange.
Dr. Professor
Yes, it is.
Captain.
His first name is Bell. His last name's
Captain Belmont. My name is Akalius, and I wish to speak to you.
He kind of turns around. And he's like,
Akalius, it's great to see you.
you might not. He's the wife. He's the
Prophecy
wife.
be damned.
He's the wife of the Lady Melina. They're both from a foreign country.
They're twins.
You're being serious right now? I'm kidding.
Oh, Gaily, great to see you.
He kind of turns like,
Oh, what can I do for you?
I hear you're the finest ship captain in all of this region.
I'm the only ship captain.
So that makes you the greatest. I'm glad to hear it.
Yes. I hold all the records.
I spoke to a Lady Melina earlier this evening.
That crazy old bitch.
Yes, the very same. She pulled
She's
wine
great,
out.
by the way.
She pulled her wine out of a flap. I don't know.
I kind of poke it. He's more just a straight kill me, give him gold. He'll take you where you need to go.
Yeah,
I'm getting to that. Don't worry.
Yes, thank you, Varyk. Just tell me what you want.
I don't know how to phrase it, so I'm just gonna explain.
Where do we need to get to?
That's what I'm
you just
saying.
need a boat.
Yeah, so I'm explaining what I need because I don't really know how I would say it. Based on what I read in the book, like where I need to go, like if he knows where this
You need
is.
to be taken across the Great River.
We need a ship. How long do you think he'll be ready?
A ship. Ugh. How many people?
We have 6 and a donkey.
Now 5.
We have 5 and a donkey.
5 and a donkey.
Gorram, did you ever buy a wagon?
There was no wagon.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we have 5.
No, they didn't have any wagons.
Should we bring your donkey or should we leave it here?
I'm bringing my donkey.
Okay, we have 5 and a donkey.
He's just riding it still.
He's just forever mounted on it, forever.
A ship that size to get across the Great River. There's only one port town here that has a ship that big. It's the port town of Redwater. It's pretty close, but it's been overrun by a group of thieves called the Black.
Seems very, the Black. So what you're saying is they've come into... You're saying these blacks have come into the neighborhood and I don't understand.
Yes, that's exactly what I'm saying.
He's not a very professional spy or whatever.
Get a hold of yourself, man. The Black have been a plague on this land for a long time.
God damn it.
They're a group of thieves that are ruthless.
Oh my god. Wait, So- are you serious?
The Black, yes. Why is he... I haven't seen him for a while. This is strange.
This is like my first time. It's hard to bring him up. I don't even know.
Alright, go outside. You're embarrassing everyone.
Sorry.
But seriously, in all events, if we were to clear these thieves out,
Oh, there's no clearing those thieves. There's way too many of them. We'd have to sneak in and get the ship and leave.
how would
It's
that be
going
possible?
to be quite hard.
Distance knows a thing or two about quite hard. Ask the princess. But that's a tale for another time. So what would be your suggestion then?
The suggestion is that we steal the ship.
Have you ever stolen a ship from these thieves?
How long will you need to have it
Stolen
prepared?
a ship.
How long do you need in order to get it off the boat?
If we need to do this, we need to do this tonight.
What happened to your ship?
A good captain doesn't need a ship.
By the way, how are things with Beatrice?
Who?
Your wife.
It sure sounds good.
Wife.
I thought she was the one.
They all were the one.
I know what's going on here, but there's more important matters at hand. I apologize for cutting you off. You could talk about Beatrice or whoever the fuck later. I don't really care. So the ship. We need to steal a ship.
Yes, the ship.
Do you know a way in to steal it?
I mean, I can get you there, but then you're gonna have to do your, shit.
I mean, if I have to kill somebody, point me in the direction.
Redwater is only a few hours from here. We can make it by nightfall if we leave soon.
If that's what must be done, we don't have any other choice. We need
But
to get.
wait, before I agree to this, there's my fee, of course.
Of course.
Tell you what, you make it out of here alive, we'll make sure you get paid.
No, you see, I get paid first, and then I get paid later.
So the thing is, you don't have a ship. You're a captain without a ship. If we help you,
Excuse me, dwarf. No offense, but I did say I'm the only captain in the land.
how hard could it be?
Oh, well, by all means, go ahead.
But my proposition was, if we steal this ship, the ship is yours.
I don't need the ship. I just said I am a good captain. I
We'll
don't
give
need
you
the
half
ship.
now, half when the ship.
That's exactly what I was going to
I'll
ask.
give you 1 gold now.
I want 1,000 gold now, and 1,000 gold when we reach the other side.
Give him the rubies.
Wait a second. So we're stealing a ship for this guy and he's charging us?
That's what it seems like.
That's ridiculous. I say we just storm out, fuck this guy, we'll steal the ship, we'll hire a crew, and we'll do it ourselves.
Maybe we can hire the blacks to do it. You named them, not me.
Jack, please tell me that's not their name.
Or we steal the ship, we hire this guy to sail it, and we keep the ship. Since we stole it.
That's exactly what I'm.
Yeah, but we still have to pay him. That's what he wants to pay.
You're paying me to captain the ship, dwarf.
Across a river?
It's not just any river.
It's like a channel.
It's like
It's
an
like a
ocean.
really big. Yeah, it's like an ocean.
There are things in that river that will make the hair on your balls go white.
Plot twist, I shaved my ball. Oh.
So are you going to protect us then?
I'm just piloting the ship. I mean, captaining. Yeah, I'm the best captain there is.
Yeah,
Is there anything other than
Such a
money
good
that you
captain,
want?
why don't you have a ship? Where's your crew?
I don't need a ship. I don't need a crew. You look like a fine crew, actually, now that I think about it. You know what? I'll cut my rate in half.
How about you pay us?
Is this guy serious? Is this guy serious? You know what? You can figure your own way out
How about this?
to get across the river, because none of you are going to make it.
We'll take your offer. We'll give you 250 now, and we'll give you 250 when the job is done.
I want
dear.
250 now and 500 when we get across.
400.
550 when we get across.
All right. If you get us across, I will give you a ruby. It's worth
Can I
far
make an
more.
investigation check to see if there's anything else he wants?
Sure.
20.
He wants gold.
He just wants gold.
Yes.
Will you take a ruby? This magical gem here is worth
That's
far
worth
more.
500 gold.
There you go. I'll give it to you when we complete the mission. I'll give you 200 gold in gold and 1 ruby when we're done. It's more money than you're making sitting on your ass here.
I'm spending money sitting on my ass here. Thank
Let's
you
get
very
moving.
much.
I'll give him 200 gold of my own money. I don't even care.
Okay. He agrees to those terms of 1 ruby after he gets you across the river.
Cool.
I have to gather my things and stop by and see that lady Melina myself. God damn it. Can't believe she sent you guys here. Just trying to drink.
Varyk with a
Does
V.
the king not have a ship that we can borrow to get across the channel? He's a king, right? He doesn't have one ship at all that we can borrow.
This doesn't seem to be like a port city.
Is there a warring kingdom?
So what happened was, this is outside of games, just to give you a little background. And this, you could have asked Captain Belmont for this info, but so what happened was when the city of St. Palatia was overrun by the conscripts and the Selector, the King's Guard that normally would be protecting the town of Redwater, which is 2 hours to the east of St. Palatia, had to fall back to St. Palatia to try to help defend the city. And therefore there was no guard in the port town, and it was overrun by a group of thieves called the Black, and they are in complete control of the city. It's almost like a pirate town. It's just all criminals and thieves.
It's called the Black Flags, so it's not all awkward.
No, it's called Black. they're called the Black.
Yeah, let's go clear these blacks out, and then.
No, he's just making it racist.
I'm literally saying what they are.
No, it's the Black.
Let's go clear the black out. That makes a lot of sense. Let's go play Call of Duty Blackout. But yeah, I mean, I'm down. Let's do this thing. Let's get buck wild. I gave him the money, so.
So what do we need to do now, Jack?
He just walked out to go get his stuff. He said he'd meet you at the East Gate in an hour.
Okay.
I'm just gonna drink for that time period, and then. Because I have nothing else to do.
Distance, are you at the brothel?
Yes.
I'm so surprised you guys left him alone.
I'm not gonna go.
Just go back to the Corinth and their house is just literally burned down.
So you're gonna go fetch distance?
I'll have Varyk go do it. Varyk, can you go grab the demon from the sex worker shop?
Sure.
Appreciate it. I'm gonna drink. Gorram, would you like a drink?
No.
I'm going to drink. With Boddynock.
I'm writing in my little book real quick.
Okay. So fast forwarding a little bit ahead, so an hour later, the party is meeting at the East Gate. Up walks Captain Belmont. He's kind of walking with a limp. He looks a little impaired. He has like a satchel kind of thrown over his shoulder. He's wearing his long cloak still and the same hat, his eye patch, and he looks eager and ready to go. He kind of like walks up to Akalius and he says,
I forgot to do something before I agreed. Anytime I work with anybody, they have to answer one riddle. Are you prepared to answer my riddle?
I gave you the money. I don't have to answer any fucking riddles.
Just do it.
What's the riddle? For the love of God. For the love of Alicia.
Alright, listen. If you get this riddle, I'll go with you. Alright.
I already paid you. You're going with me.
Right, but if yes, that anyway. But if you answer the riddle, I'll be nice to you, I guess.
Go on.
If you're in a dark room with a candle, a wood stove, and a gas lamp, which I don't even know what that means, but a gas lamp, and you only have one match, which one of them do you light first?
What is it again?
If you're in a room with a candle, a wood stove, and a lamp, and you only have one match, which one do you light first?
Why do we want to light these?
Just it's a fucking riddle, man.
The candle.
Oh!
You got yourself a smarty over here. All right, let's go. Come on.
I mean, technically the match wouldn't go out even after lighting one thing.
yeah, that's the whole point. You like the wait. What did you say? The candle?
Yeah.
No, it's fine. Yeah, that's fine.
8 intelligence, by the way. Let's go.
All right.
So I'm in the brothel still, correct?
No,
you're with us.
You're at the gate. Where have you been?
Yeah, well, I was waiting to do my stuff in the brothel.
Oh, you did.
You guys do your stuff.
You did your shit in the brothel.
How do you know?
Why would you do yourself? That's what you pay people for.
Well, no,
You got 500 for getting Jimmy back. You got 3,000 from defeating the selector.
You only got 2,000. I didn't give him the emeralds.
Oh. Okay, you got 2.
Well, like if I walk into a brothel and I say, "Hey, I want that girl."
It depends on which girl. They range anywhere from 10 gold an hour to 100 gold.
Do you want Lady Melina or what do you want?
Oh, I understand.
This is my part-time job.
I just do it for the fun.
You want the one that might folds?
Yeah, it ranges from 10 gold to 100 gold an hour.
To buy a whore.
Okay. You can
So
buy.
I want to
Okay.
talk to the headmistress.
All right. What caliber of woman are you trying to buy?
We're gonna say mediocre. She's not a head turner, but she's not like vomit worthy.
Okay.
Some boy. Wait, are you trying to buy as in like purchase completely or?
Yeah. That's what
Well, let's say rent for a month.
Like rent for a month.
I need you to roll a persuasion.
Alright.
I want to at least get to the fucking persuasion.
I'm trying.
Jesus.
Is that we're trying to buy whores and shit? I don't know what to do.
Fuck you guys.
Fuck you, Gorram.
16 plus persuasion is 9, so that's a 25.
Okay. She can sell you her most mediocre whore from the brothel for 2,000 gold for a month.
And how old is this girl?
She's 19.
Alright, done.
Okay.
We have a deal.
That's what it would actually be by the rates that Jack gave if it was for a month.
What is it?
7,200.
Yeah, she gets his roll was high, so she wants the cash now.
Alright,
But that's working how many hours a day?
24 hours? Because I mean, she looked at 24 hours, so she'd be working 24 hours.
Yeah, but I meant for in the brothel, like she wouldn't be working 24 hours a day.
He wants to take her with us.
Right, I'm saying it's like that's not the amount of income that she would be bringing in.
Well, I'm just saying because she's technically she's working 24 hours because she's working 24 hours.
Okay.
Is what my thought was.
Yeah, so that's what she's renting her out for cheaper because that's about how much she's bringing in about a month.
Okay.
So 2,000 gold. You
Alright.
bought a
So
woman
now we meet you at
the gate.
yeah,
Varyk in tow. What's her name?
Jesus.
Okay. It's Jessica, but okay.
I'm just kidding.
Ferdinand.
What's her name?
Ferdinand?
No, what's her name?
Angel.
Fergie.
Portia.
Her name's Candy for right now. We don't know her real name. That's her
Jesus
stage
fucking
name.
Christ, dude. I
Call her like licorice.
Candy. All right. Candy. So you. Oh my God. You leave the city of St. Palatia, bittersweet, a lot richer than when you came.
Except for distance. He spent $2,000.
Except for distance, who changed the child into a whore.
Okay.
Got rid of a child, picked up a whore.
For just to backtrack for a second, could I just say that I exchanged my emerald and 1 ruby for gold?
No, everybody still has all their gems.
But I wanted to exchange.
There was no bank. There was no actual exchange.
No exchange.
Feels no bank. Feels no currency exchange.
Yeah, I was gonna say he hyped it up so much.
You guys are leaving. Gorram is on his donkey. He's the only one.
Donkey.
He's the only one driving a donkey.
No, I don't want anyone in the party to know that I purchased her. I want her to just kind of us be. Well, I'm pretty. I got drunk in the brothel because of course, the emotional turmoil that you just put me through. So I'm kind of like, we're kind of hanging on each other
You went from a princess to a whore. Good job, Distance. Yeah, you're really coming along.
So you guys go to leave, and like as you're like walking out of the city, it's starting to. It's getting to be later in the afternoon, towards the evening, and as you leave, you just look back and you see in the doorway, just a round, rotund figure. See a round, rotund figure, and goodbye, forever. Come back and see me. Goodbye.
Yeah, I'm sure I'll do that for sure. Of course.
And then she kind of just like, you almost, from how far you are away, it looks like she just kind of rolls out of you to the side.
I am a crystal ball.
I am taking plum.
And then you travel into the evening, where you arrive on the outskirts of a small port town with a giant stone wall around the edges of it. You can lift up this one. Give me the map of St. Felicia back.
St. Felicia.
And then
Raise it.
You raise me up so I can walk on St. Felicia.
Oh my god, is it a Viking boat?
Well, not really.
It is a
It's
U-boat.
kind of like a big skiff. Almost.
Skiffy.
It's pretty long, pretty big.
Yeah, it is.
So you can place your.
Oh, it's a port town and it's got a couple racks. It's getting
What? Each thing's only is 5 feet. They're still pretty big.
Oh, okay.
You raise me.
Before we get started here, I actually have to get going. It's
Yeah.
about 11.
I
have to
figured.
go to bed.
I was just gonna kind of show off the port town, and then that was gonna wrap.
All right, great.
So, but I'm gonna describe it for everybody before we end, so you guys can like see what you see. So as you come up, you're kind of like actually over here, towards the edge, and there's kind of like over there. There's kind of like hay bales and stuff like that. You actually see a empty wagon.
Bum, bum, bum.
Right in front of you. It doesn't have any horses tied up to it, but there is a wagon right outside the walls. To your left is thick forest, and to your direct front is, like I said, a giant wall. Inside the wall, you can see in the gate, you can see the edges of like the port, all made of wood. You can see boats that are like moored into the dock and everything like that. And on the very, very far end, you can kind of make out a massive ship on the other edge of the small town. Immediately in the dim light, you can see figures moving on all of the buildings, almost like patrol looking. There's 2 guards right at the front of the gate, just kind of standing watch, spears up like this, and they're just kind of just standing there like sentinels. It looks heavily populated with guards, patrols, and just like you get a generally uneasy feeling about the town. And that is where we shall end.
Damn, how the fuck are we gonna do this? I don't know if you're aware, but me and Gorram are not very stealthy folks.
I am sorry that we didn't get any combat today, folks.
No, that's fine. Not every session has to have combat.
No,
That was
I
fun.
think we accomplished a good amount.
I feel like I achieved a moral victory.
Despite someone's best efforts to not.
Yeah. Let me just kill the parents.
Thanks, everybody. See you guys next time. Appreciate you.
Where are the comments from?
I think that was Jamie. Was that about the black?
Probably.
What's the name?
No, it is Jamie. I was just asking if that's what she was referring to.
Oh, what's she